my mics are good. My levels are good. Everything's connected, and encoding is started. And he just reset the box, so it should be all good to go. And we will go live in 5 minutes and 18 seconds. And you said I can text Shane that the countdown. Okay. It's at 33 seconds right now. Yeah, my duration. Okay. What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
How are you?
Good.
So here's what I've got. This is like my lead in right here, and then I set you up after the ads, and then here's all the stats that I got on both teams. And it's got right here is their offense and defense. So over here, I got you two rosters. All right, we're good, Rob. Yeah, and you want to be here?
Doesn't matter. Whatever's easiest for me. Tell me where you are.
You want to do the camera?
I can. I've never done it before, but just cool. Yeah. I think we do a team effort because I will never pay attention.
Yeah, I do that too. Are we good? All right. Oh, and now we are hardwired in now too.
See what he's got. Mark.
Good.
Yeah.
Hardwired.
Okay.
Yep.
Fans, did you know that it's possible to support your favorite Avon athletes and have a chance to win a brand new car? It's true. Andy Moore Automotive has donated a 2018 Toyota Corolla to be raffled off on October 5th. To be eligible to win, simply purchase your raffle ticket from a Sports Booster rep, an Avon athlete, or from the athletic department at the high school.
You say you already got depth chart?
Tickets are $20 for one ticket, $50 for 3, or $100 for 7. The more tickets you purchase, the greater your odds of winning the car. Plus, when you buy your tickets, you may designate the sport of your choice to receive the benefits of your purchase. Thanks for your support of our Avon athletes, and good luck.
21 points off of the team. Man.
Two minutes, 30 seconds. Check, test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Check, see if you can hear me. Check. Can you hear me?
Mine doesn't come through on my headphones.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, these headphones are messed up.
I brought my headphones, man.
Do you have a headset like this?
Yeah, it's an old one from my computer. Like, it's got 2 hookups in it, but it's... Oh, here's this. I'm about to steal your other one.
Oh, okay. I got this one too. Should work out too.
Oh, it's supposed to go Thursday, and they canceled.
Alright, so that's all set. One minute, 10 seconds.
to the field for a pre-game performance by your Avon Gold Dance Team.
$20 seconds. Westside Plumbing, Heating, and Air presents the Hendricks County Game of the Week on WYRZ. The underwriters for tonight's broadcast are on WYRZ are Westside Plumbing, Heating, and Air, Panuni's Pizza and Wings, Indy Propane, and Wilkinson Insurance. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting edition of Indiana High School football right here on WYRZ and AudioSportsOnline.com. Alongside the finest color man in the game, Sam Penrod, I am Marcus Fredwell, and we look to bring you another action-packed Friday night on WYRZ and Audio Sports Online. Tonight's contest pits two Audio Sports Online schools with the visiting Hamilton Southeastern Royals facing off with the host, Avon Orioles. Avon broadcasts on Audio Sports Online are underwritten by McNamara Florist, Reynolds Body Shop, Red Cobra Wrestling, State Bank of Liston, and Matthew Brom's uncle, Mike Brom, from all the way in Alaska, who joins us each week on the airwaves. HSE football broadcasts are brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill, Stanley Chevrolet in McCordsville, School of Rock Fishers, and ARS Rescue Rooter, Indiana. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Marcus Fredwell, and alongside me is Sam Penrod. And whether you're joining us live or via archive on the HSE page, Avon page, or through WYRZ.com, we are thrilled to have you with us here tonight, and we're going to go down to the field for the national anthem right now. Back in a moment. And another fantastic rendition of the Star Spangled Banner by the Avon choir performance right there. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Marcus Fredwell alongside Sam Penrod. And whether you're joining us live or via archive on the HSE page, Avon page, or through WYRZ, we are thrilled to have you with us tonight. I'm going to bring in my colleague Sam Penrod in just a moment, but first we're going to hear a word from a few of our sponsors from tonight's game. Westside Plumbing, Heating, and Air offers residential heating and air conditioning, maintenance, repair, and replacement, and serve all of Hendricks County and West Indianapolis. Their phone number is 317-445-8399. More information can be found at westsideplumbing.com or on their Facebook page by searching for Westside Plumbing. Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg delivers to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Pizza, calzones, breadsticks, and wings are always available. Located at 1447 East Main in Brownsburg. Their phone number is 317-286-3500. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday, open till 11 p.m. More information can be found on their Facebook page as well as their website, panuni.com. Indy Propane is located just west of Danville and serves all of Hendricks County and surrounding areas. They serve residential, commercial, and farm propane needs, whether for fuel or heat in a variety of propane containers. More information can be found at indypropane.com. Their phone number is 317-539-4656, and normal office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Wilkinson Insurance offers home, auto, life, and business insurance through several different companies. They shop and find the one that fits your budget and needs. They're located at 314 East Main Street in Brownsburg, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and their phone number is 317-852-8330. More information can be found at wi-insure.com. That's wi-insure.com. Well, welcome back, folks. Marcus Fredwell and Sam Penrod here with you on WYRZ and AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm going to bring in Sam now, who in his first career game as a color analyst last week was, dare I say, Tony Romo-esque. Sam, bring us some of that wisdom and tell us what we have to look forward tonight with Avon coming off of a big win against Ben Davis and HSE coming off a tough loss against North Central last week.
Yeah, a Ben Davis team that, that's probably one of the biggest, I think me and Rob talked about, is one of the biggest regular season wins in Avon recent history. So big win. North Central looks to be a team to compete with in the MIC. So it's going to be interesting to see how the seasons play out and see what kind of a loss that might have been for the Royals, whether it's a top MIC team or not. And also both teams have huge rivalry games next week. So interesting to see if there's, sometimes for big games you're looking ahead a little bit sometimes, but I don't think in this HCC conference you're going to be looking ahead too much. So we'll be interested to see how this game turns out.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. One of the more skilled conferences in all of the IHSAA. Going to run down a couple of stats for you. First, for the Royals last week, they didn't have any stats necessarily listed for the first game. A 21-20 win versus Lawrence Central at Lucas Oil Stadium week 1. Last week, they lost 31-13 to North Central. Cody Sparks was 10 of 35 for 176 yards, 1 early touchdown and 2 interceptions. That was a touchdown pass in the first quarter. On the initial drive of the game, it was a 64-yard catch and run by DeAndre Rhodes early in the first quarter. Ben Boyson also had 6 catches for 61 yards, and there were 4 receivers total with 1 catch apiece. Matt Harris, the main runner for the Royals last week, had 11 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. And Lance Stevens had 4 carries for 26 yards. Sam, tell us a little bit about what we're going to expect from the HSE offense tonight.
Well, we got a new coach, so it's always interesting to see how things change. Ben Davis's defense looked different last week, so I'm kind of interested to see how things, from what I'm used to seeing, change coming up. So it's going to be a little interesting, a little learning for me, seeing what they come new with. I'm sure from what some of the Avon coaches told me, there's some similar things we're going to see.
And Sam Penrod, a very popular member of the press box here at Avon, former coach, ran a lot of things, several different position groups for the Orioles over the last few years. I'm sure they're sad to see him go, but the Avon Youth Program is happy to have him around.
Yeah, and, 7th grade, AJ Youth. I get to work with a lot of the great people in our community here in Avon, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so Sam, speaking of the Avon football program, last week you mentioned they beat Ben Davis. This week they come in ranked number 2 in both the coaches and the AP polls. A lot to live up to. The only team ahead of them, and likely for the rest of the season, will be the Warren Central Warriors. Big rivalry, as you mentioned, next week with number 5 Brownsburg for the Orioles. Tell us a little bit about what we have to look forward to from the Orioles tonight.
Offensively, they can line up in multitude of formations. We saw 2x2, 3x1. We saw a ton last week from them. They also can get heavy and pound on you a little bit. So it's having that flexibility is really frustrating for a defense because you have to prepare for so much. They have a lot of speed and a sophomore quarterback that has some moxie with him and composure. And he can. There's some throws he makes as a sophomore. They're very impressive. So, and defensively, we have several people up front, and in the linebacker core, we have Division I kids everywhere. We have a lot of speed. So, they're running around hitting. So it's going to be interesting to see, our defense flying around and with our offense to see how these games turn out.
That's very well put, Sam, and I think you're right. Necessarily coming off of the big win, the Orioles take care of the football and play their game tonight, they're definitely the favorite in this one. And speaking of taking care of things, State Bank of Liston are masters at taking care of your assets. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County. Their 24-hour banking phone number is 317-994-5181. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. And since 1954, McNamara Florist has been providing home, business, hospital, and funeral home deliveries of fresh arrangements and plants throughout the greater Indianapolis area, including Avon. They can be contacted at 317-579-7900 or by visiting their website, www.mcnamaraflorist.com. Reynolds Body Shop is a sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They're located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2372 and are open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. They've been family-owned and operated for 30 years, working with individuals and insurance companies for collision repair. For more information, you can find them at reynoldsbodyshop.com. And Red Cobra Wrestling, who has been a big part of Avon's wrestling success over the last few years and other Hendricks County schools. They offer training sessions by Coach Chad Red, and they're located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. They offer sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. More information can be found such as prices and class schedules at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. And Marcus Fredwell and Sam Penrod back here with you on audiosportsonline.com. A lot of sponsor reads tonight, so bear with us as we go throughout that. We've got a triple broadcast.
Yeah.
Some of you are joining us live on WYRZ and 98.9 Brownsburg Radio. Some of you are joining us via the Avon football page on audiosportsonline.com, and others are joining us via the Hamilton Southeastern Royals page on audiosportsonline.com. And we're glad to have you all with us here today. A few more stats offensively. First for Avon, Henry Hessen on the season so far, 19 of 36 with 389 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Mason Miller has had quite the quarterback rating this year as he led off the game last week with the double pass for the touchdown. One of the more impressive things.
Does that count towards your QBR?
I think it does because it doesn't count towards Henry's because the first pass was backwards.
Well,
so
it's a good rating,
technically it's the old halfback pass, but a little bit of modification. We saw the New England Patriots run that a few years ago in the playoffs. So to see the Orioles start off the game with something like that really lets you know that they're willing to do anything to take down the Giants.
I tried to actually copy it in my 7th grade game. It didn't quite go as well, but we were trying to copy off them a little bit. So, Coach JJ. Last week I gave props to the Moore brothers, but Coach JJ was the mastermind behind the crazy double pass that we started off with. So
that's the defensive guy?
No, JJ's our offensive line coach, Jared Johnson.
Okay.
Yes.
Offensive line coach.
Yes.
The smartest man in the room most of the time.
That's what everybody says. So I believe it. We got some smart ones here.
There you go. Samson James so far on the season. Sam has 41 carries, 333 yards, 4 touchdowns. Much of what we saw from him last year.
Yeah. We're going to see a steady dose of him. I know he went out for a couple series last game with the knee injury, so looks like they're probably just going to put a wrap on that, and I believe he's full go. So we'll watch that as well. With how he runs, sometimes he can sometimes hurt him because he's so aggressive and so it'll be interesting to see how as many carries he's had, especially last week. He had 41 carries in 2 games. That's a full plate. So we'll see how that goes along during the game as well.
Right, absolutely. And a rare combination of speed and power from Samson James.
Absolutely.
The wide receiver core has a lot of speed, not as much power, but quite a bit of speed. Wallace Stovall, who has on the season so far 7 catches, 191 yards, and 1 touchdown, being that double pass to lead off the game last week. Cohen Morrell, 7 catches for 110 and a touchdown on the season. And Jalen Peterson, who we're glad to see getting some offensive work this year, 5 catches for 157 yards and 2 scores so far. Talk about the wide receivers.
Absolutely. Cohen Morrell with the huge catch in the corner last week. Stovall he's a sophomore, but he's built more like a junior almost, or a senior with his size and build. And then you have Peterson, who does a great job, is an athlete. You put the ball in his hands in just about any way you can. You're timing up everything perfect tonight.
Man, that is a little bit of a train horn right there, Sam.
We got a new train horn. I don't know if I told you that. We got a new train horn.
Yeah, that is evident so far. Definitely a lot of enthusiasm here. Mostly a full Avon stand. The student section's filled almost all the way up to the top, it looks like. There are very few empty seats down here. The Orioles have just taken the field. They're in the black jerseys with the camo or tiger striped or whatever.
With the numbers we can't read.
Right, the numbers that you can't read, especially the darker it gets, the harder it gets to see. They will be in the black jerseys, black helmets, white pants, and it looks like mostly white socks down there for the Orioles.
Oh, yeah.
Across the way is going to be the HSE Royals, the silver helmets with the blue face mask, white jerseys with blue numbering, and blue pants down there for the Royals. Royal captains include number 28 is Andrew Klink. Number 26 is Tony Casseri. Number 70 is big offensive lineman Grant Rude. Who else we got down there, Sam? I can't quite see it all for the Royals.
I apparently have to get some contacts. I can't see very well.
Well, we'll finish off the Royals in just a second. The Orioles are going to defer to the second half and kick toward the north end zone. That will make the Royals
taking the wind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking the wind.
That'll make the Royals work from left to right to start the ball game. And the other captains for the Royals include number 3, Jackson Lance, and number 36, Anthony Eggers. I didn't see them all for the Orioles, but I'm sure Samson James.
Oh, yeah, Hubner, Addison. It's the usual group of guys they send out there.
Yeah, so good luck from them winning the toss, deferring to the second half. Just about ready to go here. Bandy will put a boot into it here in just a moment. But we're excited to get going here on audiosportsonline.com. Sam is going to have another first for us this week. He's going to run the camera and run the show a little bit. I don't know that he's nervous, but Sam, tell us a little bit about what you're expecting out of that.
Yeah, so just tweet me angry text if I'm messing up on the camera. I probably make sure I just said about the camera.
I'm sure Kelsey will.
Yes, she will. Hey, she wasn't too happy with me because I said I didn't listen to her on air last week.
Rob, but we both know that's a lie.
Yeah, Rob got me into all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, well,
so thanks, Rob Kendall.
Does. Yeah. Well, Rob is back in the studio tonight flipping switches. Also want to thank Shane Ray over at WYRZ keeping us streaming over there. And we're just about ready to go here as Bandy looks to put a boot into it and does so. Kicks one down to Stevens, who will take it. And right at the goal line, he will take it to the left side and get hit right around the 21-yard line, taken down by a player. 21.
Special teams will be big again. As long as the Avon doesn't allow any big plays, I don't see Hamilton Southeastern being able to have a ton of success against this Avon defense. But we shall see.
Jarrett Stephen with the stop on the kickoff, and out come the Royals. They're going to run an up-tempo style offense. For those of you who haven't seen them before, I had them last week. Here comes 3 receivers to the bottom of the field, 1 to the top, and Miller in the backfield. Sparks rolls out to the near side, throws it, knocked away. That was one of the Avon defensive linemen. That was 43. Brevin Good right there, yeah.
A lot of pressure from the D-line there. Looks like the HSE's trying to move the pocket a little bit to the 3-by-1 set.
They're going to run that up-tempo offense. As Sam mentioned, 3 receivers to the bottom of the field, 1 to the top. Miller behind Sparks in the backfield.
Fake signal with the check with me at the side. Always the favorite to get exactly what you want to get into, which helps early on in the game especially.
Absolutely. Excuse me, that's Harris in the backfield, and he will get the handoff up the middle, and another great job by the Avon defensive line busting up the middle.
This HSE offensive line is going to have some trouble with this Avon defensive front. They're going to have a lot of trouble tonight, so I'm curious to see what HSE, because they're not having a lot of success early, what they do early to try to help with that.
Same formation. Hard count again from Sparks, and he looks back to the sideline. And Sam, Rob, and I talked about the size difference between Avon and Plainfield in Week 1.
Yeah.
And not as much of a school size difference, but the offensive and defensive lines, as Sparks looks to the near side to Boysen, who did that several times last week, caught a pass short of the sticks and ran it toward the sticks. He's really close. It's going to all depend on the spot here.
Some poor tackling by Avon. Avon had him probably stop for a 5-yard gain, but now we have 4th and short. HSC's keeping their people on the field.
Now, we saw this last week. HSE will run up to the line, and at times they will run their unit off the field trying to induce an offsides, and here they do it right here.
One offensive lineman forgot. That was awesome.
Yep, it's always one offensive lineman. We might have the best ideas, but not always the best thinkers.
Oh, that was cool.
Snap is back, and that's going to be Hebben Street kicking it away. It's a high, short kick. It's going to hit at about the 40 and take a HSE bounce all the way down to the 26-yard line. That's where Avon will take over 1st and 10. Moe's Southwest Grill is a supporter of HSE Royals Athletics. They've been serving Fishers for over 13 years. Whether you're hosting a party, business function, tailgate, or even a wedding, Moe's Catering can have it covered. Moe's Catering team offers delivery and full setup. Call the catering hotline at 317-605-1200 or order online at moes.com.
So a 2x2 set here by Avon. 2 high safety from HSE.
Hessen and James in the backfield. Hessen takes the snap. Quick out to
Stovall.
Stovall looks like. It's going to be completed for a short gain. I think we all forgot the
we did.
camera that time. Credit him with a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 here. The Orioles will go quickly.
Double stack, yes. Yeah. We're seeing the double stack again.
And a fake handoff to James. Here's a quick slant. That's to Reynolds. Reynolds breaks a tackle, and he's got some room on the outside. At the 50, the 40, this is coming back. A holding or a block in the back of some kind down the field.
I think we got a holding on Peterson maybe there. Great effort by Peterson, but that, again, coming out with the double stacks, it's a great formation because it makes it easy to know where your numbers are. They run an RPO out of it, so.
Sam, double stack is something we saw a lot with Luke Shayatovich and Isaac Garendo the last couple of years.
Yes, I saw it a ton last week, which Ben Davis struggled adjusting to, really, especially when you have a 2 high safety set. You almost have to declare single high sometimes, just depending on what you're running.
And so the penalty is called down the field. And so that'll bring up an Avon 1st down as they were able to gain enough to have the penalty not negate the 1st down completely. So it's 1st and 10 from about the 47. Hessen takes the snap. Quick hitch to Morrell on the near side. He gets it across the 45. Inside down to about the 42. He'll be knocked out of bounds, but that's good enough for another 1st down.
Yeah, a lot of available on the backside of the 3x1. Definitely looks like HSC's giving a lot of respect to the 3 receiver set side. Peterson, Stovall. Gotta be, again, another situation. See how HSC adjusts because Avon's just taking what they give them right now.
Absolutely, and good job of the Moors by giving Hessen a couple of good quick options. And there's another quick hitch to Morrell once again, and he's going to have another 12-yard gain for another 1st down. Actually credited with 13 inside the 30 at the 29.
That was pretty impressive timing there. They were HSC was in like a soft 2 look, almost a hard kind of mediocre 2, and they were able to complete the hitch on it as well. So gotta be curious to see what they do to the front side, how they adjust. Now we're in a 2x2 set.
Morrell and Peterson to the near side. Stovall and Reynolds to the top of the field. Peterson in motion. They'll fake the handoff to Peterson, give it to James for the 1st time, and he is upended just across the line of scrimmage by number 26, Tony Caseri.
And HSC's going to have to pick, it looks like. They left the jet wide open on that one. They were able there for the inside zone, but, again, they're going to have to make some decisions here on what they want to cover because there's some stuff is open right now for against the HSC defense.
Orioles going with that up-tempo offense themselves. Another 3x1 scenario here. Hessen will drop back, looking for the fade over the top, just over the outstretched arms of Cohen Morrell. And that'll bring up a 3rd down here for the 1st time for the Orioles tonight.
HSC given a hard cover 2 look there, and and Morrell did a great job of getting outside. Had a couple yards on the DB, but Henry had a little too much steam on that one, it looked like.
Yeah, just a little bit through the fastball a little bit high there. and Sam, I just noticed for the first time this year, left tackle number 54, Blake Fisher,
yes.
a 6'5", 300-pound sophomore.
How'd we miss him?
Oh, my goodness. And here's another snap, the 2x2 set. Hessen's going to have to step up in the pocket looking, has a man. Oh, just off his fingertips near the 5-yard line. And a tough play there for either one of them to make. But just to escape the sack there, a nice job by Hessen.
Just out of the reach of Peterson there. Looks like he stepped up in the pocket. Coverage kind of broke down, and, again, just put a little bit too much on that one. Blake Fisher, a Division I sophomore that's gotten several offers already. I don't know. It's a bunch of Big Ten teams. It's hard to follow
I'm sure
him,
you got guys like Samson James garnering the respect of Ohio State.
Yeah.
So guys like that come to the game. And here's Hessen again, dropping back, rolling out on 4th down, looking, has a man in the end zone. It's Reynolds. Oh, just out of his reach. And that will bring up a first down for the Royals.
Now, I know last week I mentioned how Ben Davis' offense has a lot of success against the defense of Avon. Well, this HSE defense traditionally has given fits over the years to this Avon offense, even though they have a very explosive offense. They run that cover 2 shell. Now, Avon's had several guys break open deep late, so when these coverages break down, I think HSE might have some trouble because there's been a lot of guys open. So, again, when the coverages break down, their first 3 or 4 seconds they're covering, but then once Henry eludes the pocket, there's a lot open. So
yeah, and he's done a good job of that so far. The Royals coming out, handing it off up the middle to Harris. He gets a little bit, but not much. Get him about a yard to the 30.
If you're HSE, you gotta move the ball methodically here and take your chances when you can. You have to move the ball. You have to run the ball a little bit. Otherwise, this defensive line's going to tee off on them. So, very important that I think HSC's got the right mindset. Not getting a lot of yardage, but they got the right idea.
Going with the up tempo again. 2 receivers to each side. Sparks with Harris in the backfield. Drops back, looking outside, and can't quite find Rhodes on the near side.
Not a lot of time to throw. And
not against this Avon defensive line.
Yes, that was a quick pass, and he was getting antsy there. I know they're getting a lot of pressure against him here, so interesting to see if HSE keeps moving the pocket to help out their quarterback with timing.
And one thing about this HSE offense, as quickly as they move, Sam, it doesn't take much time off the clock when they do it.
No. Again, they're going to have their fits with this line.
Sparks looking deep, has a man. He caught it and he fumbled it, and there was a flag thrown.
On Avon, pass interference, I believe. Oh, offensive pass interference, I think.
I think he was indicating that Avon recovered the fumble there, Sam. I'm not sure what the call is from I believe, is that the side judge here on the home sideline?
Yeah, look.
That defensive holding called, so
6'6" Landon Morris, 1-on-1 against JP. Looks like they're trying to get a fade there. JP wasn't in bad position. The quarterback made a really good throw. JP kept fighting, was able to get the strip, but they called the PI on that one. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like defensive holding, which I don't believe is a spot foul, right? That would go back to the line of scrimmage and be a
5-yard.
I think in high school it is a 5-yard variety, and it's not an automatic first down. I know that.
Correct. And after 7th grade in youth, and I just stayed in pro and college this week, I'm just going to let them mark it off, and we'll wait to see.
Right. My dad has explained to me this before. There's only 3 penalties that are automatic first downs in high school football. One of them is not holding or pass interference. I can't think of what any of them are. Here's a handoff to Harris again, who has hit a couple times near the line of scrimmage. Breaks across. Give him about a yard and a half, maybe 2 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Nice safety support by Tyler Anderson there. Some new people in the Avon secondary. They're 3 games in now. Tyler Anderson's making some great plays coming up and sticking people. So,
well, and Sam, as HSE goes quickly again, one thing that the Orioles have done well is have people prepared to be the next man up. I think Anderson, who's been sitting behind a couple guys for the last couple years, has really come into his own, having to play on the scout team against this outstanding Avon offense.
Yeah, they they do a good job of finding really tall, big, physical quarterbacks to throw around the football. So
Harris goes in motion out of the backfield. Sparks is going to be sacked. There's a flag on the far side. I believe that's an illegal shift, as it looked like Harris was heading toward the line of scrimmage at the snap of the ball. I think the Orioles will decline that penalty, though, and take the result.
Again, the offensive line for HSE is having all kinds of trouble blocking the front of Avon right now, and he's not getting a lot of time, so they're going to have to keep trying to get rid of the ball quickly, because I don't believe they're going to have a lot of success holding that thing like they did 2 seconds ago.
Well, right you are, Sam. And while we've got a second here, let's just mention, absolutely beautiful night here at the Indy Moore Sports Athletic Complex here at Avon High School. A long third down opportunity now for the Royals as they take 3 receivers to the top of the field and 1 to the bottom with Sparks and Harris in the backfield. Avon's coming right now. Looks like we got almost a zero coverage from Avon. Sparks will roll out to the left. Looks to a man, has Boysen, who will get the catch, but not a first down. He's going to be about 9 yards short. And we're going to have HSE continue to move that pocket with sprint outs, boots, all kinds of things to move the pocket. They're going to have to keep continuing to do that with their short passes. Again, when you do that, though, it's a little bit of a problem because it limits you sometimes on one side of the field. You might have a backside route, but it sometimes also limits you on what you can do. Oh, and Avon just saved themselves from an offsides penalty there on that HSE shift. And here's another big punt away from Heaven Street. It's going to be fair caught at about right at the 30 by Anderson, and Avon will have it with a first down right there. Well, Stanley Chevrolet in McCordsville has been family-owned and operated for over 50 years. Their sales agents are not commission-based. The service department at Stanley Chevrolet takes pride in their work and offer up new vehicles as transportation while they work on your vehicle. Stanley Chevrolet is located off West Broadway in McCordsville. Learn more at StanleyChevy.com or call them at 317-335-3000. And here come the Orioles in that trademark 2x2 set, 2 receivers to each side. And here's a handoff up the middle to James. Breaks a quick tackle, but brings it. He's brought down after about a 3-yard gain. And atypical of the Orioles, but 3 yards in a cloud of dust still gets the job done. Absolutely. D-Love, we got the camera moved. My bad on that. But nice run by Samson James there with the, again, he 3 or 4 or 5 yards from him. You're going to get that almost every down. So 3 receivers to the top of the field. It's Reynolds, Peterson, and Stovall. Morrell all by himself at the bottom. And Hessen fakes the handoff, throws it over the top looking for Stovall, but it's intercepted. And that's going to be caught and taken down to about the 45-yard line. On the interception for the Royals is number 1, Manny Daniels, and that'll bring up a first down for the Royals. I got it. Again, this HSE cover 2 defense, if you miss over the top a little bit here, you're gonna go right into the safety's hands here. Just a bit high from Hessian. His fastball's working tonight. His high fastball's working. He just needs to take a little bit off, and we have possibly 2 big scores here. As we say in the baseball world, start in the zone and work out of it once you're ahead. So we're going to switch places a little bit here. And here's the pass from Sparks looking up top. Nice coverage by Moulton. And that is knocked away. And who was that, Sam? Is that Moulton? I can't quite read those numbers. Again, those numbers I'm going off just by sheer knowledge here. Looks like Cameron Moulton on the far side, I believe. It's either 20 or 28, so not sure which one that is, but looks like we had a jersey number possibly switch here, but yeah, that was Moulton on that side. And here comes Sparks taking the snap, looking to the left side, has it complete to Boysen, and Boysen is wrapped up quickly by Moulton that time. Another good play by Cameron. And for those of you that have been tweeting and texting us, we are going to work harder on the camera. We're going to tag team it from here on so we can try to stay on the ball for you. Appreciate the heads up from Rob Kendall and others here at Audio Sports Online. As here comes Sparks. He'll take the snap. He'll hand it off up the middle to Harris, who gets through the line of scrimmage and is knocked down. Looks like he's just shy of the first down. And in a 4th and short, I think we're undoubtedly going to see the Royals go for it. And this is a situation where we've seen the Royals go Wildcat in the past. Looks like that's what they're going to do here.
HSE, with the pressure that Avon's bringing and the amount of success that the amount of people that are getting open on Avon's offense, I think they know they have to go for it here. Little Wildcat.
And here's a handoff, a Wildcat up the middle, and he's going to take it all the way to the barn for a touchdown.
Again, last week we saw this from Delbert Mims and Ben Davis with the QB power out of the Wildcat and having a ton of success. So maybe they're listening to our broadcast and we're giving away the secret here a little bit.
Well, the Orioles had the box stacked up, looking to stop the 4th and short, but Harris got through the line of scrimmage and took it all the way in for another HSE touchdown, for the first HSE touchdown, and that makes it 6-0. And Avon in an unfamiliar place right here, down in a football game.
Yes, again, HSE always plays Avon very tough, so I expect the long game. Block kick there.
Yeah,
Trey Howe with the block kick. Nice effort
back,
there.
Hold down, kick up, and it is blocked by the Orioles. So Avon with a big play early on, and the Royals lead it here 6-0. Going to give you another quick word from School of Rock Fishers. They're located at 11740 Oleo Road, Suite 100 in Fishers in the Kroger Plaza. It's a music school that can have kids playing in a band in 30 minutes and inspire them to rock on stage and life. Fisher School of Rock is open 1 to 9 Monday through Thursday and 12 to 2 on Saturdays during the summer. Find them on the web at FisherSchoolofRock.com or call 317-284-1148 for more information. ARS Rescue Rooter Indiana can handle all your heating and cooling and plumbing needs. ARS Rescue Rooter Indiana is a supporter of Hamilton Southeastern football broadcast. They care about the communities they serve and strive to give back to the organizations and individuals who make their communities a better place to live. For more information, call 317-390-5555 or check them out online at arsindianapolis.com. Sam, we saw a quick score there after a short first possession from the Royals. The Orioles, however, moved the ball very well on their first possession, but couldn't convert a 4th down, giving the ball back to the Royals about the 29-yard line, and they took it 71 yards in about 6 or 7 plays for the score.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers, points off turnovers right there.
Heaven Street gets a boot into it, kicks it deep. It's going to be taken at the 7 by Moulton, and Moulton has some blocks, gets ahead. A penalty flag is down, and Sam, that's in the area of a hold.
Yeah, block in the back, hold, one of the two usually. I've seen some absolute maulings on tape on what happens in high school and kickoff returns, so you could call it probably in just about every single play on kickoffs, kickoff returns.
Well, and Sam, as
like
we've seen,
holdings in general can get called in different
pretty
degrees.
Much every
essentially,
play,
yes.
We've seen, Sam, the kickoff rules changed in the professional ranks.
Yeah, I just saw that yesterday.
Times.
I was not aware of it.
Yeah, several times over the last few years, and even more strict this year. But that holding penalty will be moving the Orioles back to the 14-yard line, where they'll start their second drive of the game.
Same shell look from HSE. Looks like Avon's going to try to pound it a little more here to get some run game going a little bit.
And here's the snap. It goes to James.
James up
and
the middle.
He is going to take this one all the way at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Avon. Samson James, lightning in a bottle, as I like to call him, takes it all the way in for the score from 86 yards away.
Avon with the counter to Samson James. Looks like HSE was playing to the strength, and Avon came back to the weak side with a counter, and there was a huge hole up the middle. Great block by Peterson on the edge to help Samson get vertical up the middle there.
Well, and the way Avon blocks most of their plays, Sam, they set it up so that James only has to make one guy miss, and he did it on that play.
That's what you want.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And there's Bandy, a kick, and is that one good? Oh, just barely sneaks inside the left upright, and the Orioles lead it 7-6 here early on as the HSE Royals converted a 4th down just seconds ago and pushed it in for a touchdown, had the extra point blocked. Avon picked up a holding penalty on the kickoff, and then Samson James took it all the way in for an 86-yard score.
HSC doing a nice job of playing to the strength against the outside zone against Avon there. Obviously, Avon ready for the counter next with the punch counter.
Well, and that's something that the Royals have been really successful with in the first 2 weeks, that Wildcat formation, if you will. And it's something that's been more popularized ever since Ronnie Brown handed it to the Patriots.
Ricky Williams
years ago.
and Ronnie Brown?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best running back tandems that we've seen in our recent memory. But we'll see what the Royals have to do here in order to keep this one tight as they look to return this kick. Bandy will have it on the right hash mark, and he will look to kick this one off from the right to the left. And here is he's going to set it up. He's going to get a boot into it. He kicks it low liner. It's going to hit about the 12 and roll into the end zone, and that'll go for a touchback. And the Royals will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Going to be interesting to see how HSE attacks this defense again. They had success, obviously, with the Wildcat up the middle, QB power that Ben Davis ran over and over last week when they needed a third down conversion, or in this case it was a fourth down conversion. I would expect after the blueprint's been laid out by Ben Davis over these years that some of these HEC teams are going to catch on with that QB power on short downs situations against our defense.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. And 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. As Sparks will take the snap, he will hand it off to Steven up the middle. Stevens. That's Lance Stevens. Not to be confused with Lance Stevenson. # born ready. And he takes up the middle. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Not a lot of push from this HSE offensive line against that D-line.
Sparks drops back the pass, finds Boysen on the outside, and Cameron Moulton holds him up and then absolutely stuck by, was that 47? Hubner.
Yeah. Hubner with the help on the inside from the middle linebacker position there.
And
great Air Force commit right there.
Yeah, and Sam, we failed to mention it early in the before the game, but Hubner is tied for the team lead with 16 tackles. He's got 2 sacks on the season and an interception.
Absolutely.
So an all-world defensive player for the Orioles right there.
More check with Mees from the sideline from HSC on this 3rd and 6.
And here comes Sparks looking to pick up a big third down for the Royals. Drops back, passes, has Boysen. He got enough for the first down at the 31, and that'll be another HSC first down.
HSC watched their tape last week in the 3x1 sets, and they're going after the same thing Ben Davis did over number 3. They're trying to get the ball quick to him. Doing it a little differently with some quick outs, but all the same, they're still attacking that number 3 route.
And Sam, right there's the handoff. Another one to Steven up the middle. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage once again. As I was saying, Sam, you a former Avon football coach, myself a former Avon baseball coach. Oh. Definitely have a little bit of loyalty to the Orioles, yes. But I have to remind myself as we go throughout the broadcast tonight, we are broadcasting for both schools. So I got to try to inflect my voice the same on both sides. All apologies if I fail to do that at all. But 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Sparks drops back to pass. He's hit as he's thrown, and I think that definitely had an effect as he was looking for Rhodes on the outside and couldn't quite get to him.
He does not have a lot of time right now. He's going to have to get rid of it quick, and I think the Avon defense is going to pin their ears back on this 3rd and 10.
Well, and Sparks, just a junior, had a little bit of experience last year, but here's a rollout, moving the pocket. He is going to be wrapped up. And was that Matthew Brom right there, giving a little heads up to Uncle Mike, saying thank you for supporting us all season long. I know you love that.
That's my all-time favorite ad.
Mike
Out of
Brom.
the two broadcasts that I've done, that's my all-time favorite.
Matthew Brom's Uncle Mike, one of the underwriters for our Avon broadcasts. And here come the Royals with a quick snap. The punt is away, a high spinner, wobbly from Heaven Street, and everybody just gets away from it.
A little bit of miscommunication between the returners on the Avon end. The ball bounces. As a returner, you never want that thing to bounce. And hopefully they'll be able to get the second time that's happened, so hopefully they can field the punt and save themselves some field position there.
Well, and Sam, I mentioned it early in the game how one of the finest color men that we've had here on AudioSportsOnline.com, and I said it a little bit tongue in cheek, but honestly, the level of knowledge of the game of football and just the Avon program in general that you bring to the broadcast is second to none. And we're thrilled to have you with us here this week and every week on Audio Sports Online.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the compliment, and I'm excited to be here and enjoy watching this group of kids.
Orioles looking to hand it off again to Samson James, and he's going to get forward for about 6 on the play. And Henry Hessen's going to go look over to Coach Moore at the sideline, get some signals, and work it back into the huddle here. We saw Avon on their first drive go no huddle, a little bit of tempo, and now they're going to huddle up and call some plays from behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to go a little bit bigger here in size. Only three receivers, tight end, one running back.
Yep, tight end in the game. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 in the top of the field. James flanks to the right side of Hessen in the backfield. Hessen takes the snap, hands it off up the middle to James. Gets forward, doesn't get a lot.
It's a little bit of a cat and mouse game here. HSE trying to give a cover 2 look. While dropping 8 in the box, they're late. So HSC's going to try to give that cover 2 look and hopefully disguise it, because you have to honor the size that Avon brings running the football.
Absolutely, you're exactly right. HSC, like you mentioned, with that Tampa 2 kind of shell defense that they've run in the past.
Yeah.
Speed kills in that kind of defense.
It does, and it's discipline. Everybody does their job, and they're where they're supposed to be, and it makes for a defense that can execute at a high level.
Down at the south end of the field, looks like the Channel 13 chopper getting ready to take off.
Outside
Here's
zone.
Samson James on the outside, and it looks like he's got a first down.
Pick up by Samson James there on the outside zone.
And a lot of zone runs for the Avon Orioles.
Yeah. They again with the last play that they scored on, which was a counter. HSC starting to honor the weak side a little bit more, therefore getting the outside zone open, which, again, it's a cat and mouse game we'll continue to see. That's the first quarter, looks like.
Yeah, that's going to wind us down out inside of 0 seconds here. We'll give you a quick break and back in a moment here on AudioSportsOnline.com for the second quarter action between the Avon Orioles, where they lead it 7-6 over the HSE Royals. And speaking of leading, Sam, Westside Plumbing, Heating, and Air is a leading plumbing, heating, and air provider in Hendricks County, looking for employees with at least 2 years' experience as a journeyman plumber. More information about this and other positions can be found by calling 317-445-8399 or by going to their website at westsideplumbing.net. Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg delivers to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Pizza, calzones, breadsticks, and wings are always available. Located at 1447 East Main in Brownsburg. The phone number, 317-286-3500. They're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday they stay open until 11 p.m. More information can be found on their Facebook page as well as their website, panuni.com. And we're just about ready to get things underway here. Hope we're doing a better job here of staying with the football for you. Looks like we are.
I think we got the camera teamwork figured out here. Avon saying with a 3-receiver, 1 tight end, 1 back set, starting in the pistol here.
Yeah, and here comes Hessen. Fakes the handoff, looking. He throwing the post to Peterson, who's wide open. He gets it down to the 25, breaks a tackle, hit again at the 20, taking it all the way down to the 15. And that'll be an Avon first down. A nice ball there from Henry Hessen, who kind of threw a change up there.
Yes, so throws a beautiful deep ball. And eventually the HSD defense got caught playing in a cover 3 there. They tried to single up Jalen Peterson on the backside of that route there. DB didn't seem to have a chance.
Back out come the Orioles. Similar formation with a wing this time. Samson James, man goes in motion. Here's the handoff. No, it's QB power there. Henry Hessen going up the middle. And Sam, that's another thing we saw a little bit last week. We didn't really see from Brandon Peters that much, and we definitely didn't see it from I'm blanking on his name.
Cameron Meisner, yes.
Meisner, yeah.
UND football player now. Hessen does a great job of using his feet in the pocket. whether it's stepping up in the pocket, moving around the pocket, and then he has the ability to keep it on a inside-outside zone or even QB power at times.
Extremely athletic guy. We've talked about his baseball accolades as well as the Orioles come back out. 2 receivers near, 1 to the far side. James flanks to the right side of Hessen. Hessen, quick slant to Stovall, and he can't quite hang on to it.
Slightly behind Stovall on the slant route from the slot position.
Yeah, it looks like after that first interception, Hessen really trying to hone in on his receivers. And one thing you don't want to see from a young guy is to try to be too perfect. And there goes the WTHR Channel 13 chopper. So check out those first quarter highlights online tonight, on the news tonight on Channel 13 at 11. They usually put it on about 11:20, 11:15 sometimes. Here comes Hessen with 3 receivers to the near side, 2 stacked in the slot. So Hessen drops back, passes over the middle.
Just a bit high.
Just a little bit over Jalen Peterson. And Matt Moore may have been able to make that play with his 6'3" frame. But
a little bit high there.
A little bit over the hands
Matt
of
had
Peterson.
some nice hands. I'm sure he would have made that catch.
Oh, yeah. Another outstanding two-sport athlete for the Orioles for many years, Matt Moore. We love Matt Moore. He's a great kid. Glad to see that he's back healthy off of his Tommy John surgery a couple years ago and ready to provide a big left-handed arm out of the bullpen for the Purdue Boilermakers this year. Bandy, kick away. It's high. It hits
banks it in.
Crossbar. Did he call bank on that one, though?
I don't think he did.
Well, nonetheless, it counts for 3 either way, and the Orioles lead it now by a score of 10-6.
So a little bit of a bad snap there. I'm not sure if it was a bad snap or the snapper lost it, but kicker didn't quite hit it flush, and it barely got through there, but it got through there nonetheless.
Yeah, it got through the uprights for 3 points. And Indy Propane, they're located just west of Danville and services all of Hendricks County and surrounding areas. They service residential, commercial, and farm propane needs, whether for fuel or heat, in a variety of propane containers. More information can be found at indypropane.com. Their phone number is 317-539-4656, and normal office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So, Sam, a drive stalled by Avon, but much credit to the HSE defense there for holding strong on 3 straight plays inside the red zone.
Absolutely. HSE's doing a great job of making it hard for Hessen to complete the passes. They're giving him small windows. He can hit them, but he's missing a little bit right now, so they're doing a great job of defending him.
On one side, we're seeing the defensive line be the main reason that the quarterback's struggling, and on the other side, it's the defensive secondary here as Bandy puts a high, short boot into this one. It's going to hit near the sideline and just roll right out of bounds, as that will go for an illegal procedure, and the Royals will have it at the 40. Is that correct?
Yes.
40.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, they will get the option to re-kick.
Yes, I think
that's what they're going to have them do here. Orioles tried the pooch there, not quite to the spot they wanted to get it. And one thing that we know from Coach Mark Bless is that special teams is of paramount importance.
Yeah, I talked about it a little last week against Ben Davis. Historically, they would have some big plays against us, and limiting those, the special teams game is always key. I opened up my 7th grade game when they returned a kickoff against us, so that was special teams are very key. They can set the tone for the game, just about any game, really.
Absolutely. At either half, both halves start with a kickoff, and being able to start either half with a kickoff return for a score or even taking it near the midfield stripe is a big deal for either team.
Yeah, good field position. There's a lot. Special teams are definitely underrated, and they're almost under attack this day and age.
Here's another kick from Bandy. It's another high one, but this one's going to stay in bounds, taking it about the 18 by number 3, and he's going to take it across the 30 down inside the 35. Looks like he's across the 35 to the 37, and that was Lance. That was Jackson Lance on the kick return there for the Royals. Nothing flashy, but he kept the ball in his hands, and he got forward for a couple yards.
Yeah, trying to find a way to spark, get some field position with their offense, having little success blocking that front for the Avon defensive line.
And we mentioned Sparks last week, 10 of 35 for 176 and a touchdown and 2 picks. So far tonight, no picks and no touchdowns, but he's doing a good job of moving this offense as Sparks takes the snap. Looks, has Lance on the near side on a little bit of a whip route, and Lance takes it forward. He's got about 5, and it's going to be a second down for the Royals.
I feel like I'm at another year against HSE, and they got 6'4", 6'5", and 6'6" receivers, so I need to find what they're doing up there to find those guys.
And I'll tell you, one thing that has hurt HSE over the last couple of years has been the splitting of the 2 schools. HSE was a powerhouse for so many years when they were just one school and splitting off into Fishers. Here's the little bit of a fade route, and it's knocked away by Peterson, but I think they're going to call another holding on him here as Jackson Lance was looking to make the play there on a nice ball from Cody Sparks.
Yeah, again, Peterson's in good coverage here. He's manned up in his face, and HSE is going to take their shots where they can, and that's good for them. They don't have much running the ball. They're going to have to get rid of it quick. So I would expect if we continue to press the backside, they will continue to try to take their shots, knowing that's what they have the most success with right now. 3-by-1 set from HSE out of the pistol.
Sparks takes the snap. Has to be flushed out of the pocket. A flag flies. It's going to be a hold deep over the middle, incomplete. Deep to the outside, incomplete. But that one's probably going to be moved back on a holding penalty there.
Yeah, that was a little high for Landon Morris. So if it's high for him, it's high for most everybody else.
Well, yeah, and Morris, as you mentioned, stands at 6'6" tall. Another youngster there, a sophomore, is Morris. DeAndre Rhodes is a junior. And I think the lone senior wide receivers are Jackson Lance and Boysen is also a junior. So Jackson Lance, the lone senior wide receiver. So 3 of these guys are going to be coming back next year.
Yes.
And one of them we're going to see for 2 more years after this.
Going to be a fun group to watch.
And also a fun group for Adam Foster to coach there over at HSE. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. And now no handoff to Harris this time. A quick pass to Boysen, who makes the catch, but another short gain. It's going to be second down and about 17, for the Royals.
Second down.
And the Orioles come back out in their trademark 3-3-5 set. Here come the Royals. 2 receivers to the top of the field are Rhodes.
Another check with me at the sideline from HSE, getting in exactly what they want here.
Yeah, Rhodes and Morris to the top, Boysen and Lance to the bottom. Sparks looking deep for Lance.
Just out of bounds.
Yeah, it's caught by Jalen Peterson, but just out of bounds. And it's going to be 3rd and long for the Royals.
I'm expecting a screen, a sprint out screen, something here from where they have to move the pocket and account for the Avon penetration of defensive line linebacker. Knowing Avon likes to pin their ears back and sometimes send some pressure on 3rd and longs.
Well, or Sam, you can look at Harris, but they're going to look to throw it. They're actually going to look deep to Boysen over the middle, and they're going to call pass interference on that one. That's a tough call there for Anderson.
Now, that's not a first down, but they're calling it on HSE, it looks like.
Oh, are they?
Yes. Tyler Anderson in pretty good position in the
It looked like just 2 guys going after the football. I'm not sure that a flag was warranted there from either guy, but offensive pass interference is going to be the call. And if you're the Orioles, you're probably likely to decline this one and move it to 4th and long.
I think they're moving them back maybe. Oh, they are declining that.
Penalties decline. 4th down.
4th and 18 for HSE punting here.
And the Royals will punt this one away. And Sam, after this play, I think we'll switch positions so that our mics aren't tangled up here. And a big high end-over-end kick by Hebben Street, received by Anderson, and he slips right at the 20, and he'll be taken down by a couple of Royal defenders. And give us just a second here as we switch locations.
Also, the Avon 22-yard line. First down, Orioles.
We'll just move it down here a couple feet.
There we go.
I'm not sure that I'm going to be any better at this, but I'll try, I guess.
We got it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out here. And here comes Hessen with 2 receivers to the top of the field, 1 to the bottom. Samson James flanks him in the backfield.
Hubner in the backfield for Avon as well.
Hand off to James, and he is wrapped up quickly by number 7 for the Royals, and that was Isaac Abeo on the tackle.
Hubner heading out of the game. Avon back into another tight end set. 3 receivers, 1 back. HSE giving a shell look over the top.
Hand off to James up the middle. He takes it forward for a short, about 4 or 5 yard gain. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 here.
Now, typically, I think last game, this is where Avon likes to grind this quarter out and wear on this defense and give a steady dose of Samson James here. 3rd and 2. This might be the easiest call ever. Hand it to Samson James here and try to get the first down.
Yeah, just a little James power right up the middle, and that's what we're going to get. He will have to break a couple tackles.
Looks like HSE stops him short here.
Yeah, and Sam, as you mentioned, the Royals historically have given the Orioles problems offensively, and
definitely.
Right here is another example.
This looks very similar to the HSE defenses that I've seen last 4 years. So, if you have something that works against someone, I would keep using it.
Absolutely, definitely a good job of Adam Foster being able to notice from the film over the last few years what the Orioles do. And here's a snap back. Boot into it by Mason Miller is going to be hit. It's going to hit at the 40 and roll some more, take an Avon bounce down to about the 27. And that's where the Royals will take over. 1st and 10. And Wilkinson Insurance, they offer home, life, auto, and business insurance through several different companies. They shop and find the one that fits your budget and needs. They're located at 314 East Main Street in Brownsburg, open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. And their phone number is 317-852-8330. That's 317-852-8330. More information can be found on their website, wi-insure.com. Holy cow, Sam, we've gotten through all the ads.
HSE with the handoff up
Here's
the middle.
Handoff up the middle
nice.
to Stevens. Yeah, nice job by the Orioles of laying a big hit. And a nice job by Stevens of kind of breaking out of that hit.
Stevens gets through there and takes a pop here from 32, Griffith right there. And he's able to keep the feet moving.
And Sparks, there you go with the check with me there at the sideline. 3 receivers to the bottom of the field, 1 at the top.
Avon again with a lot of pressure to the single side receiver.
Snap.
RPO.
No handoff. Yeah, another RPO there.
A lot of RPOs as we talked about before with this HSE team, which works for them, especially with the lack of success their offensive line's having against this D-line. It's able to tire that line down a little bit and get rid of the pass quickly.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Sam, what it does is it makes you stay, keep you from pinning your ears back.
Yes, so with the Jet HSE here, the Jet guy keeps it.
Oh, he fumbled. I think the Orioles think they've got it. Oh, but the official holding up his fist indicating 4th down. And it's going to be 4th and long now.
Yeah, handing off the Jet play, trying to attack that edge for Avon. Avon's there to make a great play.
And the Royals will set up in their trademark 4th down. Going to try to draw the Orioles off sides. Can't do it. And they'll send Heaven Street back to try to punt this one away. And another thing they do to alleviate the rush is go really quickly here after they get set with the snap. And this time they slow it down a little bit. Heaven Street gets it away. Nice job by the defenders of staying off of the kicker. Fair caught at about the 32 by Tyler Anderson. And that's where the Orioles will take over 1st and 10. Sam State Bank of listed has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County, with one in the Avon area located at the Prestwick at the Crossing Shopping Plaza on Highway 36. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com, and their phone number is 317-745-5138. Hessen takes the snap, hands off to James, who has a hole, powers into that hole, and is taken down after a gain of about 6 or 7 on the play.
This is, again, another good time for a steady dose of Samson James here, which you really can never go wrong with until they stop you on 3rd and 2. But
well, and Sam, as I like to say, lightning in a bottle is Samson James.
With how he runs downhill and how he attacks vertically, if he gets a seam, he's gone.
Back out come the Orioles. A more tight formation this time. A tight end and a wingback in this time. And here's James, who looks to make a cut, but it is it's like he got caught by the turf monster.
Yeah, might have lost his footing there.
They'll run Hubner off the field, who was the extra tight end that time, and they'll bring back in Jalen Peterson.
Yeah, look for Hessen to keep it in one of these outside zones as HSE continues to crash from the backside.
We saw it a couple times last week with the read option and Hessen hanging on to it. Well, let's see what the Orioles decide to do here on 3rd down with 3rd and about 5. And looks like Adam Foster over there on the far sideline will take a timeout. And, Sam, we got about 4:23 to go here in the first half. Avon leads it 10-6. Give us your assessment of what you've seen so far.
HSE traditionally doing what HSE does with the Avon offense, not trying to allow big plays, keeping everything in front of them, tight windows, coming up and tackling them, being physical. You would think by the first quarter this game would be getting out of hand outside of the one big play from the HSE offense, but it's going to be a 4-quarter game for sure.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that I think the Oriole coaches kind of like, because you're playing in such a competitive conference.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily want to have a bunch of blowouts every week. I don't think that had much to do with losing the Lafayette conferences, the schools out of the conference.
Yes.
But bringing on a team like Franklin Central, another city school, I think will provide some more competition this year. And gotta love that the HCC is always looking to expand.
Yeah, definitely. I think bringing Franklin Central adds another 6A team to our conference that's going to definitely help them.
2 receivers stacked to each side of the formation. Hessen drops back, has some time in the pocket, rolls out, and here comes a man. He's going to be hit, dropped, and he fumbles, and they're fighting for it. They're still fighting for it, and the indication is, it's going to be fumble recovered by the Royals. That Royals sideline is just absolutely raucous on a 3rd down, coming up with a huge stop.
Nice play by HSE there, making the big. Now, Hessen's knee may have been down, but unfortunately, we can't challenge it.
Right, just a tough play there for Henry Hessen, who it's his 2nd turnover of the game, but one of those where he had one of those lookout blocks coming from behind him. And
scrambles out to the right, just took a little bit too much time. You got to get rid of those quick sometimes. You can't hang on to it forever, or you got to take off.
Yeah, that internal clock right there, Sam. And 5
trips.
wideouts for the first
4x1 set here.
To the right.
Avon, not sure what they have only 3 to the 4 quad side.
And, it looks like HSE running a little bit of the oop-de-oop.
Avon looking a little confused lining up there, and HSE did not capitalize on that.
Well, with Jackson Lance on Jalen Peterson, it looks like the Royals are kind of looking to set up a mismatch there, but they'll go back into their 3x1.
They're definitely attacking Peterson on the backside for sure.
Here is Sparks handing it off. No, he doesn't hand it off. He keeps it, and he is hit hard in the backfield by Hubner as well as Matthew Brom.
Yes.
Uncle Mike is happy about that one. Matthew Brom with a big tackle in the backfield. Bring it up a 3rd down and about 15.
Quarterback keeps it on the inside zone there and does not work out well for him. A lot of penetration from this Avon defensive line once again.
Quickly, Sparks sets up the screen, tipped up in the air, intercepted, and that was Conley, I believe, on the pick. Yeah, Nathan Conley on the interception.
We knew that screen was coming sooner or later. There wasn't much HSE could do. We knew the screen was coming. Great play by the Avon defensive line getting in there.
And the Orioles with a big turnover of their own right there. Henry Hessen quickly back onto the field.
3:37 left in the second quarter here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back.
Hessen calls the signals, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to James. Looking deep, has a post. Looking for Peterson to run underneath it, and he can't quite get there. Not a bad ball from Hessen, just a little bit over the outstretched arms of Jalen Peterson. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
The backside post from Peterson's got a lot of speed. He's open. Looks like HSE might be making a change at corner because Jake Hudson's coming out and Cam Harris looks to be going in at DB.
Hessen with 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far side. He's going to hand it off to James this time, who is hit again in the backfield. And, Sam, the Royals are just absolutely wreaking havoc on those run plays right now.
Again, this defense has a lot of success traditionally against this offense, and they're getting a lot of penetration. They sometimes take away with their alignment what they want us to do.
So the Orioles will come out this time with 3 receivers to the far side, and it looks like an illegal substitution is going to be called on the Orioles. I wasn't able to see exactly who or what it was, but illegal substitution nonetheless, and the Orioles will be pushed back 3rd and long now, and 2:51 to play. The Royals
just keep shooting themselves in the foot with some of these the penetration from the D-line and then the penalties.
Well,
you never want trying to drive late in the game with little time on the clock.
Well, if your coach bless, holding penalties and stuff like that happen, but mental mistakes such as substitution violations are not something that you take lightly.
Yes.
And here come the Orioles now, 3 receivers to the top of the field. Morrell by himself at the bottom. James flanks the right side of Hessen in the backfield. Hessen drops back, looking over the middle to Reynolds. He's caught it.
Wow.
And Reynolds with a fantastic catch there. A little lob pass, a kind of a dangerous ball from Hessen over the middle, but Aaron Reynolds makes a nice catch.
I was a little worried the HSE safety was gonna, we're gonna have a helmet-to-helmet collision there. Reynolds jumps up and makes a great catch.
And back out come the Orioles quickly with 2:10 to play here in the first half. Hessen with 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Takes the snap, hands it off to James. Gets through the line of scrimmage. Is wrapped up by Abeo, and he's going to be short of the 1st down, but has about 7 on the carry.
Nice play by Abeo, keeps contained, and also tackles down Samson James, which is never easy to do with a blocker in your face.
Well, and Royals fans are just they love Abeo out there. He does a great job of being all over the field and making plays from everywhere. Hey,
nice little tradition of DNs here at HSE.
Absolutely. And looks like 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. The pass goes to Stovall.
It's a route they came back to. Avon was looking to go to it earlier, and they missed it.
He was looking for Stovall on that one, and he found him a little bit, but just a tough play there, as Stovall had to absorb quite a hit before he had a chance to make the catch.
Yes. 3rd and 3 here, 1:28 left.
Hey, some might call this 3rd and James for the Orioles.
3rd and James. Look at that. That was good.
Hessen with James to his right in the backfield. Takes the snap and hands it off to James. James gets through the line of scrimmage. He's got a 1st down, and he'll be stacked up just beyond that 1st down. And it looks like I think we're likely to see the Orioles take a timeout here, maybe. Maybe not. With 1:22, they'll huddle up. Ball spotted at the 24 and a half. Orioles send 2 receivers to the top of the field, 1 to the bottom. A tight end to the near side as well, with James flanking the right side of Hessen in the backfield. Hessen takes the snap, drops back. James stays in the block, looks near side, has Jalen Peterson on the near side for the catch.
with a new substitute coming in for HSE, Jalen Peterson has all kinds of room. They're giving him a lot of room on the backside there. So interesting with the DB change to see did HSE lose confidence in their DB or are they just making a change?
Well, it looked like to me it may have been a safety or a defensive back of some type coming out and a linebacker maybe coming in to try to stop that Samson James run a little bit more.
Yeah, the corners are playing more aggressive as we get closer here to the goal line. So
snap. Hessen looks to the end zone. Peterson, incomplete. Incomplete, right around the S.
A little mistiming there, it looks like.
Yeah, and Hessen had his man. It was a tough window to fit the ball inside of, but nonetheless, a nice play there by the defensive back.
Jake Hudson looks like he's coming back in at cornerback now, so maybe it was just a wardrobe change or malfunction or something.
Something like that, I'm sure.
Your knee pad wasn't covering your knee in this day and age. That's what we're worried about.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that has been a little bit more hamstrung over the last couple of years as Hessen takes the snap.
Screen to Samson James. He's got people in front of him. Not a chance.
Yeah, once Samson James lowers that pad level,
if you're
going to get at least 2 more yards.
Yeah, if you're a DB, that's tough to have to deal with. You have Samson James running downhill on you to screen. You don't have a lot of options. Going low is my first one.
Well, and Sam, they said let there be light, and there was light.
Yes.
In the press box to hook it up. As Bandy comes on to kick this one, Anderson the holder. And do you know the snapper?
Ethan Warren.
Ethan Warren the snap. Anderson the hold. Bandy the kick is blocked.
A lot of pressure from this HSE team up the middle and off the edge.
A big play there by the Royals special teams as that will force that will no longer force them to have to go for 2 on a touchdown scored. Down by 10 now, 16-6 with 53 seconds to play in the first half. The Royals with 2 timeouts remaining and a strong-arm quarterback and a very large wide receiver unit. So look for the Royals to try to move the ball quickly here and already an up-tempo offense.
Yeah, if you're an HSE fan, you worry about anything that's going to take time because the offensive line for HSE is not having a lot of success blocking anybody right now.
The Orioles kickoff unit onto the field. They've got Bandy looking to kick it away. Deep to receive this one is Jackson Lance and Lance Stevens for the Royals. We've seen Bandy with several different types of kicks early on. Let's see what kind he goes with here as he puts a boot into it. It's a high end-over-end kick taken at about the 16. And that's going to be Lance, who breaks a tackle at the 25, gets across the 30, down near the 35. He'll be knocked out of bounds. Let's see where the ball's spotted, right at the 35-yard line.
The pooch kicks you see more and more on NFL. You're seeing them more and more in, obviously, high school, college. Essentially, you just try to shorten the field, kick it in the corner, have your teams keep contained, and essentially you have less field to cover on these kickoffs. So,
well, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. You're trying to make it easier on your return team. It may set the offense up with a little bit better field position than you want, but that's just the price you have to pay to avoid a return for a touchdown there. Here's Sparks with Harris behind him in the backfield. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Sparks looks, has Boyson. Boyson catches it, gets forward to about the 42.
Look for HSE to keep trying to attack over number 3 as a quick option. With the clock ticking, obviously, they're going to have to hurry here.
They'll go 2 by 2 here. 32 seconds to play. Sparks drops back. He's going to have to roll out of the pocket. Orioles giving chase. They've got Boyson. Oh, are they going to give it to him?
I believe so.
I think they are. Boyson dove, and the ball was ricocheted up into the air. And Mitch Heavenstreet, with the wind behind him and a big leg, they need probably about 10 more yards to give him a good shot at a field goal. And here comes Sparks, takes the snap, looking outside, has a man, and it's going to be caught with 12 seconds. And I believe they're well inside of Heaven Street's field goal range.
HSE seems to be getting a little more comfortable with what they're seeing from this Avon D. Nobody's really changed what they're doing. They're just doing a few schematic things different here.
Well, 2 timeouts still remaining for the Royals as they drop back. Sparks rolls out of the pocket, looks, has a man wide open, and he's going to be called incomplete as it looks like he stepped out of bounds before
made the
he caught it.
Made the nice catch, but unfortunately his foot stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, you can see his feet kind of slip there at the top of your screen as he was looking. 5 seconds now, and I think the Royals will probably try a field goal here.
Do they run their field goal team on late?
Not traditionally.
Okay.
They still have 2 timeouts, so look for them to probably run this one down and then call a timeout and make a decision. Yeah, that's what they'll do. Coach Foster calling another timeout here, and they're going to decide what to do here before we go to halftime. 5 seconds remain before halftime, and a somewhat quick first half here as it's only 8:03 local time.
Yeah. A lot of running the ball here.
Apologies to all the listeners as I was a little bit firm on my mic. Hopefully I quieted it down just enough. Let me check the levels here. It looks like we should be good unless one of these 2 teams scores another touchdown soon, and then I'll probably get loud again.
And we'll have to yell over the air horn.
That's true, yeah. And these Royal fans, as we mentioned pregame, the fans are basically packed full. There's a few empty seats here and there, but you see across the sideline several empty seats on the HSE side, but that's because they're about
a tough
an hour
drive. That is
70,000 miles away.
Drive.
Yeah, not easy at all.
Field goal here by HSE.
Yeah, Heaven Street on. It's going to be a 46-yard attempt. The snap, the hold is good. The kick is away, and
nice
that is
kick.
Way long enough.
Just a bit outside.
Oh, but wide left. But honestly, Sam, look for that to be a factor later in the game.
Yes.
As Heaven Street looked like he had a field goal that would have been good from about 50 yards if he needed it.
Absolutely. Definitely in a 16-6 game with how these teams usually play each other, going to be huge having somebody that can get you some tough points there.
And I believe, is this the time you got to head down for the
AJ-AA?
So we will do our best to keep the camera on Sam as he heads down toward the field. We will take a quick break, then we'll read a few messages and be back for the second half here on audiosportsonline.com and WYRZ.
Fans, turn your attention to the track. Tonight, we welcome the Avon Junior Athletic Association football players. The AJA has been in existence since 1963, serving youth in Avon and surrounding areas. AJA is proud to present fall football players and cheerleaders. Their games are played at Avon Middle School North on Saturday mornings. Come on out and cheer on Avon's youth. As a reminder, recreational basketball registration will open mid-September for AJA. Please visit ajaonline.org to register. Let's give a big round of applause to our AJAA football players and cheerleaders.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Fredwell back here with you on audiosportsonline.com. Going to bring you a couple quick messages and then be back with some first half analysis. McNamara Florist provides floral designs for all occasions. that help its clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. They have 7 locations for service in floral design or selecting home decor merchandise, including Christmas classics. They can also provide floral needs for weddings, home parties, or corporate functions. They can be contacted at 317-579-7900 or by visiting their website at www.mcnamaraflorist.com. Reynolds Body Shop is a sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They're located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2372. They're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. They've been family-owned and operated for 30 years, working with individuals and insurance companies for collision repair. More information can be found at reynoldsbodyshop.com. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions by Coach Chad Red and is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. They offer sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. More information can be found about prices and class schedules at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. Also want to thank all of our HSE supporters. Moe's Southwest Grill, a proud supporter of HSE Royals Athletics, as well as Stanley Chevrolet in McCordsville, School of Rock Fishers, and ARS Rescue Rooter, Indiana. Westside Plumbing provides residential and commercial plumbing services, as well as heating and cooling services in Hendricks County and the surrounding areas. Appointments can be scheduled by calling 317-445-8399 for plumbing or HVAC repairs. Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg delivers to Pittsburgh, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Pizza, calzones, breadsticks, and wings are always available. They're located at 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg. Their phone number is 317-286-3500. Open Sunday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday open until 11 p.m. More information can be found on their Facebook page as well as their website, panuni.com. Indy Propane is located just west of Danville and services all of Hendricks County and surrounding areas. They service residential, commercial, and farm propane needs, whether for fuel or heat, in a variety of propane containers. More information can be found at indypropane.com. Their phone number is 317-539-4656, and normal office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Wilkinson Insurance offers home, auto, life, and business insurance through several different companies. They shop and find the one that fits your budget and needs. They're located at 314 East Main Street in Brownsburg, open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and their phone number is 317-852-8330. More information can be found at their website, wi-insure.com. Now, folks, we definitely want to thank all of our sponsors tonight. One more time, at least. We'll go through them all. Westside Plumbing, Heating and Air, Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg, Indy Propane, Wilkinson Insurance, McNamara Florist, Reynolds Body Shop, Red Cobra Wrestling, State Bank of Liston, Moe's Southwest Grill, Stanley Chevrolet, School of Rock Fishers, ARS Rescue Rooter, and last but most certainly not least, Matthew Brom's uncle, Mike Brom, who joins us each week from all the way in Alaska. We want to thank him for joining us, and thank you for joining us as well as we get ready to go about 9.5 minutes before the teams will re-enter the field here for second half action. Marcus Fredwell and Sam Panrod with you here tonight from the Andy Moore Athletic Complex at Avon High School. Hendricks Regional Health Stadium is playing host to this HCC battle, the first of the season for both of these teams, and they will play the next 6 consecutive weeks after this in Crossroads Conference play as well. So look for both of these schools to have a tough road ahead in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, as it is one of the premier conferences in the state. It's not quite to the level of the MIC yet, but it's not far behind, that's for sure. And across the board with all sports, I mean, baseball, soccer, basketball, football, track, cross country, volleyball. I mean, some of the predominant number of state champions over the last few years in all the different sports have been coming from this this Hoosier Crossroads Conference over the last couple of years. So at this time, I'll bring in my colleague Sam Penrod. And Sam, tell us what you saw in that first half.
Well, like we just talked about when we got off air, not a ton being changed between the two teams. From a formation standpoint, they're only running a couple formations, it seems. They're playing a little cat and mouse with their coverages, 3 looks, 2 looks, and then the Avon defense is getting a lot of pressure. We even saw a quads look from HSE. Expect HSE to come back with that because Avon looked a little confused when they saw it. But also expect if they go empty again, they're going to have a lot of people coming for them from the Avon defense as well.
Well, Sam, definitely disorienting the Avon defense was the name of the game for the HSE Royals in that first half, going with the tempo offense.
Yeah.
Trying a little bit of misdirection, rolling out and trying to move the pocket as much as possible.
Yep.
Definitely a big factor for the Royals in the first half.
Yeah, they seemed to kind of get in a little pattern there where they were doing it, and Avon was able to guess and stop, and it looks like they tried to work a few new things from their offense. Again, they're gonna have. It seems to be like the rush is slowing down a little bit, obviously from that start game excitement. But they're gonna keep coming 4 quarters, and they're 5 and 6 deep with their rotation. So expect the pressure to continue, but how creative HSE gets to get those guys tired, with also throwing some screens in there and some other things to give the Avon defense some trouble.
And fans, in a close game, just a 10-point game, field goal kicking can definitely be a factor. We saw Heaven Street boot one that was just wide left but had plenty of leg on it. And now you're catching a glimpse of Bandy at the near the midfield stripe for the Orioles, banging balls in from 50 yards out. And, almost with ease. He's putting it. It looks like it's about the limit of his leg.
Yeah.
But he's putting it through the uprights from where he's standing right there at the 40-yard line. That's a 50-yard field goal. So
he definitely has a strong leg. Had a few issues with some of these last couple kicks. Seems to be more of a he might just be hitting it a little wrong because the trajectory on the last one for the field or the extra point looked to be just a little bit low. So a lot goes into that. I know Adam Vinatieri sends all his holders to holding school, so maybe. I never knew there was a holding school until I heard that about a couple years ago. Pat McAfee was the one that had mentioned being sent to holding school, essentially.
Right. Yeah. He's talked about that at length, actually, Sam, and Sam Penrod, one of the more popular members of the press boxes we mentioned earlier, and that is not wavering at all.
Shout out to William Durda out there.
Yeah, there you go. Say it again, William.
William Durda. His dad's one of the coaches on the Avon staff, so a lot of people here we're familiar with.
All right. Well, William, thanks for coming to the game, and hopefully thanks for listening to us on podcast. Again, whether you're listening to us live or via podcast, on WYRZ, audiosportsonline.com, via the Avon page or the HSE page. We're thrilled to have you with us here this week as we're about 7.5 minutes outside of getting the second half started. So we'll give you a couple more quick notes from the first half. One thing we saw almost exclusively from the Orioles was a shotgun formation.
Yep.
And that's something you don't really see the Orioles go with the under center very often unless they're going to quarterback sneak it.
Well, you picked that up too then last year, I'm guessing. Okay, well, I think they're going to stick with what they're doing. Their first drive, they had a lot of things open. They just weren't able to connect. I think on 3 passes that were over the head, they missed one in the end zone. So I think Avon should be pretty confident they have stuff there. They're just not hitting it. And again, with credit to this HSE defense, they disguise their looks pretty well. So, how does Avon adjust? Like I said, their start look is very similar, and then they morph into a few different things out of that. So, again, I love the cat and mouse game of the football, the chess match, I guess per se. But gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be 4 quarters, and I expect Avon to again another a heavy dose of Samson James here in the second half to grind out this game.
Right, and if you're an HSE fan, you're definitely looking for Cody Sparks to get on his passes a little bit here as he goes throughout the second half. He has struggled a little bit to hit some of his open receivers, which we also saw last week. But I would not be surprised to see him come out striking hot here in the second half. An interesting turn of events for the Orioles, however, as last week we saw them put up a bunch of points early and often, in the last 2 weeks really, against Plainfield, and then last week against defending state champion Ben Davis, and now against HSE, a team that people weren't expecting as much from, is really giving the Orioles quite a contest so far this week.
It's a conference game. These teams, like I said, their defense looks very similar to what I remember last few years as an Avon coach. You kind of expect this HSE team to always fight, always hang in. Same with Fishers. The Hamilton Southeastern schools do a very good job of fighting and executing at a high level. Avon always seems to have an HEC game the last 4 years where I felt like they should have won, that they always drop. And sometimes it's games like this where these teams in our conference, they fight until the very end. So you want to see, as an Avon fan, you want to see them able to put the HSE team away. And then the HSE, you just want to see your guys keep fighting and keep playing and hoping you get a turnover. They've already had a couple. So hopefully you can force a couple more turnovers possibly to spark that offense some more.
Absolutely, Sam. And while we've got a second here, let's give you a couple quick messages here from our Avon supporters. State Bank of Liston, serving Hendricks and Boone counties, performs mortgage, loan, home equity, and banking needs. You will find more information and their greeting bank dog, Charlie, at statebankofliston.com. Since 1954, McNamara Florist has been providing home, business, hospital, and funeral home deliveries for fresh arrangements and plants throughout the greater Indianapolis area, including Avon. They can be contacted at 317-579-7900 or by visiting their website at www.mcnamaraflorist.com. That's www.mcnamaraflorist.com. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They're located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2372. And they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. They've been family-owned and operated for 30 years, working with individuals and insurance companies for collision repair. More information can be found at reynoldsbodyshop.com. Red Cobra Wrestling, Sam, has been a big part of Avon Wrestling and Brownsburg Wrestling and all kinds of wrestling programs.
A lot of success in those two programs recently. A lot of state champs.
In the metro Indianapolis area.
Brownsburg had a state championship.
Brownsburg has been a perennial powerhouse over the last couple of years in the wrestling game. And Avon before them, basically much of the same. And a large part, that's in thanks to people like Red Cobra Wrestling and nationally known coach Chad Red, who offers training sessions and is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across from Walmart behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. They offer sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. More information can be found about prices and class schedules at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. Also want to thank our HSE sponsors, Moe's Southwest Grill, Stanley Chevrolet in McCordsville, School of Rock Fishers, and ARS Rescue Rooter of Indiana.
If you think about this HCC conference, we had a track state championship at Avon, a couple volleyball state championships at Avon, Brownsburg winning wrestling. I know the HCC conference statewide, cross-country-wise, is extremely well with their rankings. So, this conference is, I think, from all sports, they have to be one of the best conferences if you just look at the trophies, the state championships, they're definitely up there.
Well, you got Fishers, who has been state-ranked in baseball the last couple of years, as well as Zionsville, who have been very successful. Avon is right behind them in the baseball world. They've got a couple of great incoming sophomores with Henry Hessen, who is going to definitely lead the way for the Orioles. Not sure, haven't really talked to Coach Droschi that much about what he plans to do with Henry Hessen. Certainly we'll see him on the mound as he pumps it up there in the 80-plus category. Also, a chance to see him maybe at shortstop or third base, as he is a very skilled infielder as well. And, man, can he stick it at the plate. Wallace Stovall, another guy who we're likely to see in that black and gold this year on the Avon side.
A lot of multi-sport guys we have.
Oh,
We
yeah.
try to get as many as we can.
And Coach Bless, and give credit to that coaching staff here at Avon, because they encourage that multi-sport, participation. As not only does it keeps your players in shape, but it also garners your guys' interest at a different level.
Well, I think it offers some of these college recruiters a true sense of how athletic these kids are. And we have a local company, I know, Tracking Football does a great job of getting data of these numbers. And they have, I think, almost every Division I college uses them. So there's a lot of ways you can track some of those numbers now. And multi-sports is a great way to show off your athleticism, I think. And if you're playing multi-sports, I definitely know Division I colleges take note of that.
Absolutely, Sam. And the 15+3 at halftime, where you go 15 minutes, and then the team wait till both teams are on the field, and then you start the 3-minute clock, is just about over. There's about 10 seconds as you see the HSE Royals bringing their kicking unit onto the field to get ready to boot one away. Henry Hessen's down here at the bottom of your screen warming up with Wallace Stovall, the two sophomores.
Nice
who will,
sophomore connection there.
Oh, yeah. Those two guys for the next two and a half years remaining in this program are going to be cornerstones of what Avon tries to do on offense over the next couple of years.
Yeah, very talented sophomores that they helped lead that the freshman team, who actually last year the freshman team lost to this HSE team, which we thought they had a very successful season, but a lot of these sophomores that are playing at HSE have a lot of confidence. So,
absolutely, and for good reason, Sam, as they've got a large number of highly skilled players. Heaven Street with a high end-over-end kick. It'll hit at about the 12, but it's going to be taken by Moulton. He will look to break a couple tackles, and a successful pooch kick that time for the Royals.
You got to catch those. You have to catch those pooch kicks. If you let them bounce, that gives the timing, the seconds start ticking, and as those seconds tick, you lose yardage.
Well, Sam, explain to us, what's the mechanic as a kick returner there? Is that you were a prolific kick returner.
Not prolific.
We'll call it prolific.
Let's call it prolific.
Is there any tape to prove us wrong?
VHS tape, and it's not the best. Now, I do make my kids watch it quite a bit. My family, I make them sit down and watch my highlight tape. But
very cool.
Oh, yeah, Coach Harkema was able to get that converted to CD, so actually
nice.
I moved into a little bit modern.
Moved into the 2000s.
Yes.
Here comes Hessen with one receiver to each side. A heavy formation this time for the Orioles, as they will hand it off up the middle to James. And he'll get forward for a nice little gain there. And looks like he's got a first down of about 11 yards.
Again, Avon going with a two tight end look there, due set. Wanting to wear on this defensive line a little bit. They did have some success getting the backfield on some of those passes. So I think as Avon, you want to put your foot down and kind of give Sampson the ball again, like what we've spoke about several times tonight.
Well, and in this close game, look for the Orioles to try to power it up in there as much as possible. Hessen hands it off again to James, who makes a man miss in the backfield, makes another man miss, and he looks to cut it up. Does so just across the line of scrimmage. Looks like he gains about 5 or 6 on the play.
Great job of HSE forcing Sampson the wrong way with pressure going away from his blocking there, which whenever that happens, sometimes the running back, you get forced the other way by the defense. Hats off to the HSE there. Second looks like about 4.
Well, and back out come the Orioles in the same set, 2 tight ends.
Jalen Peterson to the bottom of your screen. Look for a post at some point, again, with the success he's had.
Well, and the success the Orioles have running the ball is going to help set that up. There's James again. This time he's going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss.
Yes. Again, credit to this HSE defense. They're getting in the backfield. They're making plays.
I believe that was Eggers in there who made another big stop, the senior captain for the Royals. And the Orioles will bring in a little bit lighter formation this time as they run on, was that Hubner and Wallace Stovall?
Yes, looks like we're going to go to some 3-receiver sets here. Get a little more blocking help with Hubner in the middle there.
Avon had early success with some 4-receiver sets, but we haven't seen much of that since their last touchdown drive.
Yeah.
And here's a rollout, a little pass from Heston.
Big catch by Jalen Peterson. Getting blasted by 3 or 4 HSE defensive backs. A huge catch on third down. What a catch by Peterson. Heston put a little more air on that I think he wanted, and JP went up and made a great play there. And that's what you need from your senior receivers.
And back out come the Orioles once again. I told you guys last week I was going to do that this week and mess up the team names. And here's Hessen. Quick hitch to Peterson. He's wide open.
With the respect that their DBs are given to Peterson on the backside, the comebacks, the outs, the DBs are in a half-turn position, and they're bailing right now. So look to that to be a spot where Avon can pick at times.
And back to that heavy formation with 2 tight ends out there, 1 receiver to either side of the formation. Hessen drops back, another hitch to Peterson, and this time looks like he tried to catch it or run before he caught it.
Again, back to the backside with Peterson. Again, it's going to be something they can take at will unless the HSE switches up their coverage here, which I'm assuming they may go to at some point.
Well, and that backside hitch, Sam, is going to set up the old pump and go.
Well, it's almost like a comeback route, so it's about 10, 12 yards, and it's deep enough where the DB has to respect his vertical threat. So,
and here it is, Hessen looking. He's going to roll out, throws, incomplete.
Speaking of mixing it up, HSE throws a cover 2 at them. Look, so again, that throws your comeback on the backside. It's not going to work. Then it kind of puts you in a bad position. So. Again, HSE doing a good job of mixing their coverages up here.
Well, Sam, where can you go when that cover 2 is set up like that?
There's a lot of it depends on what you have. Obviously, there's a void in the middle with the cover 2. You can try and tack the safeties. You can tack that hole behind the corner. You can set things up too. The easiest route you see against the hard cover 2 is the smash route. So
good to know. And here's Hessen dropping back. Stepping up in the pocket. He's got room to run, and he's going to try to take a first down on his own. Steps forward and leans. He's just shy.
Body yard short, it looks like. Maybe a half yard.
Yeah, it looks like it is going to be fourth and about a yard. Let's see. Yeah, ball's going to be we'll call it a yard and a half.
Look for Avon to try to draw the HSE team off sides here and maybe call a timeout or...
Either that or we're going to see either Hessen or James step up into a quarterback sneak here.
Great time for that QB keeper here on the zone read.
And we've got something. What happened?
False start on the Orioles.
No.
Again, Orioles not helping themselves tonight with the penalties and turnovers.
I was caught looking down at the screen there as I didn't quite see who it was on that false start. But it looked
Punt
like
team comes on board for Avon here.
Right.
Again, you got to quit shooting yourself in the foot here.
Well, and Mason Miller, a dual threat quarterback for the Orioles, the backup for Henry Hessen.
Mason Stemler here with these difficult numbers to read.
Okay, Mason Stemler out there.
The only reason you know this is because I got a chance to work with some of these kickers. That's the only reason I know that.
Well, there's the punt. It's going to hit near the 20 and take a very good Avon roll all the way down to about the 6-inch line, Sam.
We've had 3 scenarios tonight. Returners miss the opportunity to catch the football and give their team field position here.
Well, Sam, I know that's usually Mason Stemler who's getting the punting, but 8 was the guy in there punting the ball. So I think that might have been Mason Miller.
Maybe it was. I stand corrected.
I don't necessarily see a 83 on the sideline.
Oh, yeah, you are right.
Shorts on.
You're going to have to take my prolific title away now.
Well, even the greats make mistakes there. Tom Brady's not perfect. And there we go. The Royals will have to break it out of the end zone, and they do so very easily.
Game-saving tackle by touchdown saving tackle by Sargent there.
Yeah, and that was Matt Harris who took it up the middle and gained 9. It's going to be second and a yard here, and look for the Royals to probably try to do the same thing here.
Yes, again with the 3-man front, you got to take your chances up the middle. By the sheer numbers, somebody's going to get trapped. There's going to be a seam. You got to keep persistent with it, and obviously you have to wear down this Avon defensive line, or they're going to eat your line alive.
Well, and wearing down is something that they're doing, as that's another first down, and they'll look to go quickly here. Boysen in motion. Fakes the handoff to him, now gives it to Harris again up the middle, and another big gash play there. A 9-yard carry by Harris on first down for the second consecutive series.
Absolutely. Jet motion with the inside zone here. HSE getting what they want here with the movement from the jet and giving it to the inside zone. So look for that to be something the HSE is going to continue to do.
Well, and here comes Boysen in motion again, and they'll do it the same play, right? Again, up the middle.
Same exact play.
It's going to be real close to a first down there, Sam.
It's this game from HSE. I've seen they tend to fall in love with things, and they call those similar plays with the sprint outs. With some of the routes they're running, it seems like they're almost in a little bit of a pattern here.
Four times in a row we just saw a man go in motion from the slot and a handoff up the middle. It's like the first 2 times they sent Boysen from the left side to the right, and then they hit the right trigger and flipped the play and moved him to the left this time and got the first down.
It's very similar. Looks like they handed off maybe slightly different. Here's an under center look from them.
And it looks like he's going to have enough for the first
just
down.
Barely.
Just barely. But a solid. The first time we've seen either team go under center tonight, and Sparks handed it off up the middle.
First down, Royals.
So another Royal first down, and with 6:25 to play here in the third quarter.
Avon with getting a lot of guys rotating here at the defensive line spot. That's going to be important to watch as well, too.
Yeah, 10-point deficit here for the Royals. They'll send 2 receivers to the near side and 1 to the top of the field. Harris flanking Sparks in the backfield. Boysen in motion, and guess what? They're going to hand it off to Harris up the middle, and he is hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Who is that? Was that Conley? Yeah, that was Conley up from his safety position coming up and make a tackle.
The jet motion once again. I think the quarterback may have done better if he would have handed that off, but again, you go with your pre-snaps and you do the best you can sometimes.
Absolutely, and another second down here. This time it's 2nd and 9 as opposed to 2nd and 1 on this drive for the Royals.
3-by-1 set again here with HSE going empty.
Sends a man in motion. 5 wideouts. Throws it, and it's directly to the training staff over there on the sideline.
A little bit high there on that. They had 2 receivers run the same route on that side. So, again, interesting to see if the HSE team continues to go to an empty look at times.
Well, and here's a quick snap, but it's below Sparks, who looks to get it out and does so. I think they're going to give him credit with throwing the ball toward a wide receiver.
I think we definitely had a center QB miscommunication on that one. Quarterback misses the snap there.
Yeah, really tough time for that on 3rd and 9.
Yes.
That'll bring up 4th down.
There was almost the number 3 receiver from the HSE team didn't look to be covered there, and looked like a little bit of a movement in the secondary of Avon, late movement. So,
well, I think
luckily
Avon
for
was
them,
caught off guard
yes,
as much as the HSE on that.
Luckily for them.
Here's the punt, a big, huge, high, long spiral from Heaven Street. It'll hit at the 20, and it will not be picked up. It will roll all the way down to the 5, and that's where it's going to be taken.
Again, as a returner, you have to turn your hips and open up. It's very similar. Usually baseball guys are the easiest ones to teach to be punt returners because they know how to open their hips up, turn and run, get there, then you find the ball. If you try to backpedal, it makes your job really, really hard to catch it because if it goes over your head, you're out of position.
Well, I think, Sam, that's why they had Luke Chiatovich back there last year. A couple of years ago, we even saw tight end Matt Moore receiving.
Luke was able to do it at I think as a sophomore, maybe a junior. Yeah. We put him in late in the season because he was so sure-handed at catching punts.
Absolutely.
And I think that might have been in the 15-16 season, so as a sophomore maybe.
Wildcat here, Samson James, the quarterback.
I think we did see a little bit of this last year.
QB power to James.
Oh, little brother Nathaniel James in the backfield with Samson James.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
And Hessen was actually out there at a wideout.
It's a James brother party in the backfield.
Yeah,
which
the James brother.
Nathaniel James, a defensive tackle, end.
Well, and we'll see what they decide to do here as they're going to come out in that same Wildcat. Hessen, the far wide out at the top of your screen.
So 3-by-1 set, and HSE's definitely has their men at the line of scrimmage.
James takes the QB power up the middle again, and he's going to be close to a first down. Yeah, going to be about third, and just about a yard.
Nathaniel out. Looking for a bit of a more traditional formation now from the Avon offense.
Absolutely, and looks like on 3rd and short, Hessen will get the play from the sideline, calls it in. Morel heads to the top of the field, and Samson James goes under center. And they're looking to draw somebody off sides. Looks like
offsides.
False start,
yes, from the Avon offense here. Shooting themselves in the foot again.
And Sam, that's the second time we've seen a wide receiver false start. And as a wide receiver, your job's not to listen for the snap count.
Your
You're
job
looking
is
at the football.
Yes, you should be looking at the football. I know there's a lot of recognition going on with what you're trying to do, reading safeties, thinking about the play and your adjustments. But you have to look at the football, and you have to remember the cadence.
Well, yeah, and the snap count's more for the offensive line as they're the ones that really have to get off the ball quick and smack the defense in front of them. Wide receivers are really more looking to just stay out of the way on run plays.
Yeah, they definitely need to. That's something you want to emphasize to your team watching the Camden Morel here. Looks like he is just about a yard short. Hessen has to scramble. Looks like they wanted to go to the left, the far side of the field, and he scrambles to the short side and is able to complete to Morel.
Well,
4th and short.
Yeah, that'll bring out the Avon punt team.
Mason, yes, you are right. That's how I stand corrected. You are right, Marcus.
Well, and I stand next to you. But Mason Miller, in there. There's got to be something wrong with Stimler, as he's had a great career as a punter for the Orioles.
You do have an option at quarterback back here in a rugby package, too, that you have to honor.
High spiral.
Nice kick from Mason.
And good coverage there by the Orioles. That kick will move the ball out to about the 49-yard line, just across the midfield stripe, and that's where the Royals will take over 1st and 10.
That's kind of tricky, Orioles and Royals.
I know, man. I do it all the time. If I'm calling an Avon game, I will say I'll call them the Royals twice a game. If I'm calling a HSE game, I'll call them the Orioles twice a game, at least.
I just try to keep it simple, HSE and the Orioles, so I don't mix them up.
Well, and HSE coming out now. 2 receivers to the top of the field, 1 to the bottom. Boysen goes in motion. He clears the quarterback. Sparks looking for the bubble out on the near side.
They lose a yard on that one, it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be completed, and they'll lose it's like maybe 2 even that time.
Avon giving a little cover 2 look here, more of your shell look, to give the HSE offense something a little different to look at.
Well, yeah, you mentioned, Sam, it's a different look. It's something you don't see very often at all from the Orioles.
Yeah, they looks like we've had a few changes at halftime to see how everybody's going to adjust to the chess moves next.
Well, Sparks has Harris behind him in the backfield. A flag flies, and illegal procedure on the offense, or as my dad would say, traveling.
A sloppy game at times here from both squads with the penalties. Avon with the turnovers as well. So, again, first conference game. Sometimes you just got to win however you can win when it comes to conference games.
Well, and Sam, you mentioned the sloppiness. I think that's a large factor in this low-scoring 16-6 contest here late in the third quarter, as that'll move them back 5 yards, and Sparks will take the snap. Everybody's on where they need to be. Here's Boysen in motion.
Jet motion again. He fumbles it.
Ball is loose. Did Boysen? It looked like Boysen got back on it. Yeah, they're going to call it HSE football.
There's a lot of different ways you can run the jet motion. You can almost do it as a shovel pass, which is kind of what Avon does. HSE does more of a handoff. But your problem is when you do hand it off and they drop it like that, you lose the yardage. So as a
Absolutely.
coach, you try to get the refs in their ear and let them know how you're doing your jet, so therefore they can know it's a pass and it's not
Right.
necessarily a run.
Absolutely.
But HSE hands it off, which to each their own,
Yeah, and here comes Sparks dropping back, looking over the middle for Boyson, and just
Griffith just missed the interception over the middle.
yeah. Well, and if he couldn't have got a hand on it, I think Tyler Anderson may have been able to pick that one.
A lot of people in the area, again, the quarterback for HSE knows he does not have a lot of time back there, so a lot of 4th and 3rd and longs tonight.
That is the punting unit for the Royals. Hebben Street is going to be all the way back to kick this one away. And is that Anderson? Yeah, I think that's Anderson.
Tyler Anderson
to
back.
return this.
Hopefully, Coach Coley Moore, our special teams coach here, was able to make a few adjustments here.
High spiral. Anderson calls for the catch and makes it at the 30.
It's a tough catch to make. As a punt returner, when you have to come up and catch those, you save precious yards, but there's a lot going on. Your players can get pushed into you. A lot can happen, so it's tough to do. Come up and catch that football when you're concentrating on the football and you have bodies flying by you.
Well, yeah, exactly, Sam. And no doubt that after that last punt, Anderson received an earful from the sideline and saying, hey, listen.
Catch the football.
Catch the football.
Field the
Don't let it go
football,
down
yes.
to the 5 again, please.
Well, as well with those big hits, sometimes punters can outkick their coverage
Is
at
that
times.
Love or James in the backfield this time with Hessen? Can't tell. I can't see the number. Hessen takes the snap. I think that is James.
That's Teeny.
Oh, no, he fumbled it.
Nathaniel James in the backfield. He did fumble it, but it looked like Avon did recover it.
Yeah, the officiating crew calling him down with the football. And, oh, no, that's a Avon offensive lineman down. Is that 75?
Is it Martindale? I'm not sure. Let's see here.
It's either 75 or 76. I can't tell.
With these beautiful numbers, it makes it near impossible to know sometimes who we're trying to read here.
Looks like there is an Oriole down, so we will take a quick break and give you a word from our sponsors here just right quick. Westside Plumbing, Heating, and Air provides residential and commercial plumbing services as well as heating and cooling services in Hendricks County and the surrounding areas. Appointments can be scheduled by calling 317-445-8399 for plumbing or HVAC repairs. Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg delivers to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Pizza, calzones, breadsticks, and wings are always available. Located at 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg. Their phone number is 317-286-3500. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday, open until 11 p.m. More information can be found on their Facebook page as well as their website, panuni.com. And the penalty, I believe, was a holding call. Is that right?
By the spot, yes, definitely looks like a holding call.
And I believe that was Martindale who was injured, and that will bring in the junior, number 75, Axel Alvia. And here's Hessen. Takes the snap, looks near side.
Quick pass to Stovall there.
And he'll be knocked out of bounds just shy of the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up a second and about 11 from the 30.
Looks like they got the penalty yards back there. It's about second and short 11.
Number 10, Jake Houston on the tackle. And the Orioles will come back out with a second down and 11. Here's Hessen with James to his right in the backfield. Morrell to the near side by himself with, looks like, Peterson and Stovall at the top of the screen. Here's the snap. Has Stovall wide open over there, and he's going to have enough for the first down. Knocked out of bounds hard by the Royals, but not until he's got a nice little 12-yard pitch and catch there from Hessen to Stovall.
Man, he throws a nice ball. That is a beautiful throw, especially coming from a sophomore.
Absolutely.
The sky's the limit for him right now.
And the mechanics of throwing a changeup are much in the same of throwing a football. And no doubt in my mind, Henry Hessen has a phenomenal changeup as well. So here's the Oriole offense coming back out, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Here's another quick pass to Stovall. That's going to be caught near the sideline. He runs out of bounds. Gain of about 5 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 5.
Look for this Avon offense to try to keep finding that rhythm with those short throws to pick apart this HSE D, which is sometimes what you have to do with these cover 2, late cover 3 look type defenses.
Here come the Orioles again quickly. Hessen, same formation. This time James to his left. Takes the snap. Hands it off to James. Looking to get through the line of scrimmage and does. Breaks a tackle, gets outside. He's down to the 35, down to the 30. And that's where he's hit down and knocked down, but not until he's got enough for a first down. And, oh, no, it looks like there's a Royal down now. He's slow to get up. And he's going to try to stay in the game. That's number 18, John McCall, the sophomore defensive back. And another sophomore for the Royals making a big touchdown-saving play.
Again, nice size to some of these DBs, and especially this young crew for this HSE team. Looks like a lot of them seem to be coming back in the secondary.
And that'll end the third quarter there, Sam, as a surprisingly low-scoring contest here.
Yes.
The Orioles lead at 16-6 after 3.
I think if you're Avon, with how you played with the penalties and turnovers, you're definitely happy for a 16-6 game. The defense seems to be keeping them in this thing here with their own set of turnovers and big plays.
Yeah, no doubt, Sam. And speaking of big plays, Indy Propane is always making big plays. They're located just west of Danville and services all of Hendricks County and surrounding areas. They service residential, commercial, and farm propane needs, whether for fuel or heat, in a variety of propane containers. More information can be found at indypropane.com. Their phone number is 317-539-4656. Normal office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Wilkinson Insurance offers home, auto, life, and business insurance through several different companies. They shop to find the one that fits your budget and needs. Located at 314 East Main Street in Brownsburg, open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. And their phone number is 317-852-8330. More information can be found on their website, wi-insure.com. That's it. We did it 3 times for each ad. We're good. Finally get to take a break. And now we're back to action.
Oh, get the camera.
There we go.
We're doing really good that second half.
That's right. Here's Hessen dropping back. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Got to get rid of it. Oh, he's going to elude the rush. And Hessen cuts back near the line of scrimmage. And Henry Hessen, who ran about 45 or 50 yards on that play, gained all of, 5?
Yes.
But
showing his athleticism, though.
Absolutely.
That's not easy to do the way he did that there. Rolls out to left, spins back, goes hard to the right, and is able to beat the end that's trying to keep contained there.
Absolutely. And, Sam, that's a tough play for a quarterback to make there, rolling out of the pocket and being chased by several different members of the defensive unit. Here's Hessen giving the snap to James. A flag flies in the middle of the field twice. And, oh, no.
That may be
no, there's a member of the HSE defense down. It's number 52.
Yes.
That is Evan Lance, and this does not look good as Lance is holding his leg. That leg already has a knee brace on it, and you really, really hope as a Royal faithful that is nothing serious as this 6'2", 245-pound junior.
It looks like we got a chop block there.
Yeah, there were 2 different fouls on the play by the Orioles. One of them's a chop block, the other one's a hold. One of those is going to be accepted by the Royals, but unfortunately, it looks like maybe that chop block might have caused the injury of Lance there.
With twists and stunts and chop blocking, I know nobody never really intentionally tries to high-low anybody.
Absolutely.
But with the movement up front, sometimes the way things happen, it's tough being a big man up front sometimes.
Well, yeah, you said it right there, Sam. Being a offensive or defensive lineman at any level of football is a scary situation because, and that's one of the reasons you see so many NFL guys. Pretty much every NFL offensive lineman has 2 knee braces on at all
Absolutely.
times.
Yes.
Because of stuff like that. You get rolled up on it as an offensive lineman. You see guys tear their ACLs or pull a muscle or something. This looks like something much worse than a pulled muscle, though, from Evan Lance.
Yeah,
he's been down for a couple minutes here.
Yeah, the way he grabbed his knee, and he's already with the brace already on it, you always kind of worry. You just hope he's able to get back healthy. It's a physical game, so injuries are kind of a part of it, and it's got to be almost next man up in football. As much as you don't want to say that when somebody gets hurt, unfortunately,
Right.
it's kind of with the NFL with this guaranteed money, kind of brings us into which I think as a fan you're kind of happy for, because you see these people get to the top. They get these big contracts mean more now. So
yeah, I would definitely agree with you. It looks like Lance isn't moving that left leg very much at all. You hate to see that for the junior. He's going to be helped off the field, so this is probably going to end his night. We just hope it doesn't end his season, as Evan Lance, a great kid, and definitely a big part of this Hamilton Southeastern Royal defense. And really the team as a whole, as you see his teammates going up, giving him a high five, a pat on the head. The officials will now assess the chop block penalty, and they will move the Orioles back. That is a 15-yard penalty, and for good reason, Sam.
Absolutely.
I mean, you mentioned it. It's not intentional, but anything like that could definitely cause an injury.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure the penalty's there when you have a situation like that. You don't want kids getting high load, especially in high school. Again, it's sometimes is unavoidable, but wish the best luck to that young man.
Well, 11-13 to play here in the fourth. A 16-6 lead for the Avon Orioles. And over the first couple weeks, Rob talked about how the Orioles were expecting their defense to be a big factor for their team this year, but the offense was the mainstay at the beginning of the season. And now the Oriole defense having to come up big as the offense here. Hessen looking out, throwing it. Oh, my goodness, what a catch. And you might have caught the tail end of that, as I was a little slow to move the camera. What a fantastic catch by Cohen Morrell.
Well, and this is not – unfortunately, this is not new for Cohen Morrell. Unbelievable hands. It is covered, essentially. It's covered in this scheme. It was like a soft two from the HSE. Had a DB underneath him, jumps up, makes a great play. Had a one-handed touchdown, amazing catch last week against Ben Davis.
A Sam Penrod-esque catch right there.
No, I can't claim those. The catches he's making are big-time catches and big-time games.
Here's Hessen looking. He's going to look to the far side over to Stovall, who slips a tackle, gets inside the 15. Now brought out of bounds at about the 13. But another first down here for the Avon Orioles on third, and they're moving the ball inside the red zone in scoring territory right now.
The last week with that big one-handed catch in the end zone, and now with a big first down catch to move a drive against, and during a time when the Avon offense has been struggling, that's a big play for that Avon offense.
Absolutely,
because now they're in field goal position.
Well stated there, and they'll have two receivers to the top, one receiver to the bottom. Handoff goes up the middle to James, gets through the line of scrimmage, hit hard on that play. That might have been Eggers again coming up from his safety spot.
Look for Avon to pound it here a little bit. They need one score, turn it 19-6, which creates a little bit of a problem for that HSE team having to score 2 touchdowns then.
Absolutely, Sam. And
I think you got to be smart here. You got to be smart.
Now it's a 10-point game. The Orioles score. It's a 16-point game. That extra point becomes huge.
Yes.
So nothing is guaranteed here, as we've already seen 2 blocked extra points and a missed field goal. Here's Hessen dropping back, looking
shoulder.
on the back shoulder to Morrell. Did he catch it?
Touchdown.
Of course he did.
Again, a tough play to stop.
Well, and I don't think anybody has ever done it better at Avon than Brandon Peters to Andrew Griffin. I think that's one of the most I think they scored on the back shoulder fade more times than any duo in Avon history.
It's tough to defend.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a DB, you try to get to that back shoulder, but you tell your DBs to get back shoulder, but whether they can actually do it or not is a different story.
Right.
It is really tough because you have to it essentially is a read for your quarterback.
Right, absolutely. And here's the pass.
Another struggle with this getting the
again.
snap down.
Was that? It was a.
The holder looked to bobble it a little bit there. So
again, we mentioned early on how Coach Mark Bless takes a premium on special teams, and right there, special teams coming to bite the Orioles in the hind end as they only lead it by 16 now. And I hate to be right in that situation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we just talked about it, how important that extra point was.
Yep. It's a two-score game now. HSE has to do something they've only done once this game, twice with 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. So, the Avon defense can pin its ears back because they're going to have to pass at some point with only 9:28 left.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And definitely want to thank everybody here at Avon, as always, so hospitable. Lance Larkey, Brad Holsinger, the whole athletic staff here. Scott, the tech guy, set us up early this week. Got my computer approved and told me that all I had to do was plug in the router when I got here. We were a little bit delayed getting on air, but it was because we couldn't get connected to the internet. And then all of a sudden we found out, the
plug it in, man.
Yeah. So we got the router plugged back in and got connected quickly.
Oh, no.
And now with 9:28 to go, here's the kick from Bandy. It's a high end-over-end kick taken at the 5 by Lance. Jackson Lance looks to take it across the 20, across the 25, and now he's going to be taken down near the 30-yard line with pretty good field position that time on a nice kick by Bandy and a nice return by Lance.
Yeah, after last week, Bandy seemed to destroy the football 5 yards deep almost, and it seems like he's having a little bit of trouble with the strike on the football, which – kickers can go through spurts where they do have those.
Well, and he's also gotten his head. Now I've had 2 extra points blocked.
Yeah, I think it's something you just kind of have to keep kicking away and keep grinding. Know,
just keep putting the boot into it. And here come the Royals. 3 receivers to the near side. That is Lance Stevens behind Sparks in the backfield, and they will roll out near side. Finds Boysen, who puts a foot in the ground but can't quite get it to catch.
Back to the sprint out protection thrown to number 3. 2-yard gain on that. I'm not sure if the receiver ran the right depth on that one, but look for HSE to. It seems to be a staple of what they're trying to do against this Avon defense.
And they'll flip the formation. Here's Sparks looking. He's going to throw the fade up top. Picked off by Jalen Peterson, and he's going to try to take this one back. He's got some blockers. Sprints out and gets taken down near the 40, but that is a big-time play for the Avon Orioles defense.
I'm not sure what happened. It almost looked as if the HSE quarterback tried to get a back shoulder almost there, and he waited too long, and Peterson read it seems. So,
well, he was looking for 6'6" Landon Morris,
absolutely.
But he couldn't quite get it to him. With a guy like that, you really want to throw it up and over, and if you're going to miss, you want to miss long on that one, but unfortunately.
I definitely think Jake wishes he had that football back. He could have tossed it up essentially to a 6'6" receiver with Peterson just waiting on that back shoulder there.
Yeah, and Sparks with an unfortunate mistake there, but it helps out the Orioles. Here's 2 receivers to the near side. A handoff goes to James, looking for the edge. Cuts it back up in the middle of the field.
Another tough run by James.
Yeah, nice little run there by Samson James.
We probably should correct. Nathaniel had 1 carry tonight, so now we have to give the full name so we can clarify.
Right, absolutely. That's a good point there, Sam.
Although I don't know after the fumble if Nathaniel will be going back in right away.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not tonight, especially in a close game like this. Maybe in a goal line situation.
I think you definitely want the ball in the hand of your sure-handed senior.
Absolutely. And here comes Samson James to the left of Hessen. Hessen calls the signals, takes the snap, hands it off on the counter play to James. James is going to be wrapped up. He gained a couple, but he's going to be wrapped up short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2, and a big 3rd down here for the HSE Royals defense.
Yes. Good call on the counter there. Yeah. So, again, Avon hits them with the outside zone, comes back with the counter to try to keep them honest a little bit.
Well, and I've got a little bit more knowledge about the game of football than Rob, but nobody is as good as he is at calling a football game, so I'm not going to take credit for being as good as him. But, when you say stuff like RPO, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Here's the pass near side. He was looking for Stovall.
It was
on
there.
That one. Yeah, he had a first down if he could have held on to it.
Pass was slightly low, but as receiver, that's an easy catch they can make.
It's Seth Wilson in the coverage on the play.
Pretty good placement there by Henry. You put in a spot that only, good coverage there. Put in a spot where only the receiver can catch it. He goes off his fingertips there, but you got to make that as a receiver. You got to make that catch.
Well, and a huge fourth down play here for both teams. The Orioles will send out 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom with the tight end at the bottom of the formation. Hessen takes the snap, drops back, screen set up to James. James takes it across, has a first down and a little bit more. Takes it down near the 20-yard line. He'll be stopped at the 21, but not until he's got enough for a first down.
Good call here by the Avon offense, expecting some pressure on 4th and short and 3rd and short, which HSE you have to do, knowing what Avon can do with running the ball. Great call here by those offensive coaches to get that screen and get him in some space.
Well, Sam, we had Drew Shayadovich on the program a couple times last year, and he spoke very highly of the Moore brothers and their ability to help this Avon offense.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that a lot this year as well.
Yeah, Jared Johnson's the run game coordinator, Eric Moore's the passing game coordinator, and then Coach Kuhn, Coach Moore, Coach Durda. There's a bunch of them on that Avon staff, and Coach Bless, who put a lot of knowledge into what they do and getting everything done over there.
Well, and being a varsity football coach is definitely a full-time job, Sam.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. A lot of these coaches are in the building, which helps, so they can, like I said, it's a full-time job. You're dealing with the kids almost 7 days a week. Maybe Sunday you have off.
Yeah. Well, the kids have off. You're watching film and trading films.
We're meeting on Sunday, so I guess, yes, it is a 7-day-a-week type thing.
And there's the snap, but before he can get it off,
delay
of the game. That's a big mistake there by the Orioles. You can't have negative yards here inside the red zone. And with 6:19 to play and a 16-point lead for the Orioles, it's going to be 2nd down at 15 now.
Again, the little errors that this team did not do last week, they're having some issues with. But you got to work through those issues and you got to move on from them.
Right. You got Brownsburg next week.
Oh yes, that's going to be a good one.
Oh, it will be. It will be a phenomenal contest.
Got the Mudsock
game at HSE next week between Fishers and HSE. Snap. Hessen looks.
Batted down
away at the line of scrimmage, I believe.
I believe Avon's at Brownsburg, isn't it?
Yes. That's why I will not be on that game.
Okay.
As Rob and I have discussed on several occasions, I'm not allowed to be there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not allowed at Brownsburg anymore.
Oh, well,
which is
good.
fine. Which is fine. I made some bad comments in my young days, and I've earned.
Was it your young broadcasting days?
It was. Well,
Man.
no, it was my young Facebook days.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so 2 receivers stacked to the bottom of the formation. Reynolds in the slot. Handoff goes to James. He gets across the line of scrimmage. Looks to spin away from a tackle or can't quite do it. But,
so Avon being smart there, getting a little bit closer to field goal range. 4th and about 7 or 8.
Yeah, excuse me. That is 4th down.
Yeah, not sure with Bandy there. The way he's kicking, I think if you're the Avon offense and the struggles we have on PAT, they would only be kind of emphasized on a field goal situation.
And a block kick return for a touchdown here would be about the worst case scenario.
Yes, so absolutely. I think they're doing the right thing here.
Timeout's going to be called. Oh, no, and the HSE Royals have to spend one, and that is not something they wanted to do there.
Down 22-6 with 5:31 left, not something you want to waste a timeout here. But I guess if you don't stop them, essentially the game is in a bit of a trouble out of reach almost if they go up, 29-6. That puts you in a bit of a hole with 5 minutes left. So
right.
Maybe they saw something they didn't like, which I'm assuming they may have done. Kind of a little bit of a veteran move by the ball coach at HSE there.
And while we have a timeout, we're going to take one more chance to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game. The underwriters include Westside Plumbing, Heating, and Air, Panuni's Pizza and Wings, Indy Propane, Wilkinson Insurance, McNamara Forest, Reynolds Body Shop, Red Cobra Wrestling, State Bank of Liston, Moe's Southwest Grill, Stanley Chevrolet, School of Rock Fishers, ARS Rescue Rooter, and Matthew Brom's Uncle Mike. Thanks to all of our sponsors. however big or small your contribution, it helps us put on a great show every week for you here on Audio Sports Online. 4th and 8 coming up. Hessen dropping back, looking. He's going to be flush from the pocket. He's got to throw it away here, and he's going to be sacked, or tackled just across the line of scrimmage. But that will be a 4th down stop. And you see
Great
Adam
coverage
Foster.
by HSE there.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job of keeping that Avon offense from scoring there. And Adam Foster and the rest of the HSE staff going nuts over there on the sideline with a big stop.
I think also you're kind of happy that Hessen, didn't put up create a turnover with the situation. He kind of did a little bit of a veteran move and not necessarily just chucking the ball in the air and putting the defense in a bad spot.
Absolutely, Sam, and that helps out your defense's field position here as the Royals will come out. 3 receivers to the top of the formation, 1 by himself on the bottom. Sparks with Harris in the backfield.
Avon
Sparks takes the snap, looks over top, looking for Lance, and it's out of bounds.
Avon being very aggressive with their defense here. A little bit of a surprise. Up, 16 points here.
Yeah, with just 5 1/4 left here in the final period of play here at Avon High School. A 22-6 lead for the Orioles. And the popularity of Sam Penrod just continues to be showcased here in the press box. Here's Sparks.
Again,
dropping back, looking over the middle. It's tipped out of the hands of Rhodes.
Avon putting a lot of pressure, almost a man coverage look, I believe, from the secondary. But you got to feel like if you're Avon here that you're confident enough to do that. You have to be very confident enough against the size that HSE's bringing.
Well, and here come the Royals. 3 receivers to the top of the formation. 1 by himself at the bottom is Lance.
We got an
Harris
empty
goes in
backfield.
motion. Here's Sparks looking, has his man, and it's dropped by Harris on the near sideline. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
Not a bad call from HSE. They just dropped the ball, recognized the Avon banjoed it to the bottom side and was able to get what they wanted. And Avon gave a man look and dropped in the zone and got exactly what they wanted here.
Well, and on 4th down, let's see what the Royals decide to do deep in near their own end zone. They're going with that 4 wide set to the top of the field. I have a feeling somebody might be uncovered here. Sparks looking over the middle, has a man, Boysen, in the middle of the field, and he's got a 1st down, a big 4th down conversion for the Royals there.
You worry about the D-line for Avon. Looks like that wasn't quite the rush we've been seeing all game. So well,
that up-tempo offense may have started to make its effect so far.
It's 4th quarter, that 4th quarter comes, it's tough.
There's Sparks again, dropping back. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, rolling to the near side, looking, throws it high and deep, looking for Boysen, who, no way, he made that catch.
He caught that.
Oh, wow, he caught it, but it was just out of bounds. A tough call there for the Royals. I think he may have had a foot in, but the near side judge
looks
called
like
him out.
It's a makeup call from the fumble earlier on Hessen had. So
right,
maybe that's...
Yeah, you might be right there.
Sometimes they do that.
Yeah. Well, and as much as an official would deny it, makeup calls very much exist. They happen in baseball.
Now, we did HSE, I remember, I think 3 years ago, we had a back judge make a call about 40 yards away that really hurt our game chances that year.
I feel like that happens more often against Ben Davis than HSE.
Yeah, a mix-up.
Wide open man. Oh, lucky for the Orioles that they could get a tip in there.
So HSE goes empty here. Avon does not read the adjustment.
And Jalen Peterson just over here screaming at us.
We had 2 receivers. We had one DB on 2 receivers here to the near side of the Avon field. And with this empty look, it does spread out this defense. So if you don't line up correctly, it exposes you really quickly.
Absolutely, and we saw it there. If Sparks would have been able to get it off without pressure, he would have had a real good chance of finding his man.
Yes.
And he's looking for Boysen there again. Can't quite find him. That'll bring up another 4th down for the Royals. And Sam, honestly, I look for them to go with that quads look to one side of the formation this time again.
I would definitely expect some sort of empty look from HSE. They've created some schematic mismatches and had some openings that they just didn't luck out on. They got one ball back to the line of scrimmage. It probably would have been almost 6.
Well, yeah, and there they go. They're going to
empty.
motion Harris into the slot. Snap. Oh, and it's going to be a big sack for the Orioles. as that will end the drive.
Just as we gave up on that pass rush for the defensive line, they come up.
Right, absolutely. A big play there by Nathaniel James, as well as number 71 for the Orioles. And that was Julian Skinner also in there on the stop. And that'll bring the Orioles offense onto the field. And I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Samson James here for the rest of the night.
Absolutely. A lot of Fortnite dances going on here tonight.
And Hessen with James behind him in the backfield. That's Samson James. Snap, handoff to James. Gets up the middle. Short gain. But most importantly for the Orioles, that will keep the clock moving. As we approach 4 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the ball game. 2nd and 7 now. Ball's going to be spotted at the 27-yard line. See if I can find an update on the Brownsburg score for us here.
Who'd they have tonight? Franklin Central?
You might be right.
Yes.
Here's the snap, and the handoff goes to James again. He's going to be dropped for a loss this time.
Running the ball here, you got to be careful just to take care of the football. A lot of safe runs here for the Orioles offense. That clock keeps ticking.
Yeah, that clock's inside of 3:25 now. And last indication, 4 minutes ago, a tweet by the Brownsburg Athletics Twitter page. The Bulldogs lead it 37-0.
Yes, an undefeated
after 3 quarters.
Undefeated battle next week.
Absolutely. And here's a handoff up the middle. It goes to James again, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yes. So barring something crazy happening tonight, I guess I should preface.
Right. Well, an interesting scenario here for Avon, as I would say they're inside of Bandy's field goal range. But, Sam, as you mentioned several times, a struggle for the Orioles to block and snap and hold the PATs so far tonight. So I'm not sure you go
not
out
a
with
for the
goal.
Brand kind of night, I guess.
Not a very good night for the Brand.
Hashtag for the Brand.
Hashtag for the Brand. Yeah.
Maybe McAfee can give us a little shout out there.
Listening right now?
We'll say he is.
Most likely.
We'll say he is.
Yeah. I would say it's more likely that he is listening than that he's not.
What Pat McAfee's doing on a Friday night right now, I don't think he's necessarily listening to the game. But
Audio Sports Online or WYRZ. But he's probably doing something somewhere.
Oh, he's having a good time, I guarantee you, whatever he's doing.
Yeah. And he likely has a smile on his face.
Absolutely. I think one of my favorite all-time Colts has to be him.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Vinny they're just good group of guys.
Dynamic duo.
Yes.
Well, and here come the Orioles. 4th down and about 4. Hessen will take the snap, and he's going to drop back to pass. Looking, has Stovall, and pass interference is going to all but end the game here with 3 minutes to go. And a 1st down here coming up for the Orioles after the pass interference call.
Not bad coverage from HSE here.
Just a hair early.
You know, the receiver sometimes on those slants, if you jump back a little bit, it can kind of emphasize when they drive in, you jump back, it throws your body forward and makes it an easy call. Both refs caught it.
Yeah, there were multiple flags thrown on the play. So a 1st down and 10, ball spotted at the 12. And the Orioles are going to likely, again, hand it off to Samson James up the middle. They've got Hubner in there, and looks like an extra tight end as well for the Orioles. Here's the handoff to James. He goes on the counter play, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield by number 33 for the Royals, and that's Zach Peterson, the senior, coming up from his linebacker spot to make a big play for the Royals.
Hey, this HSE team just keeps coming. You know, they're not giving up. They're fighting till the end, and pretty much what we kind of expect from most of these HCC games.
Yeah. And really the first shot for Henry Hessen to face some serious adversity here tonight, as he's thrown an interception and had a fumble, but still came back strong.
Well,
and helped the Orioles to victory.
You definitely like that from a young QB who's had success. Had a huge game last week, and then against Plainfield.
Ooh, a bobble snap, but James takes it anyways. Hit and dropped, but not before he gains a couple.
Yeah, another tough run by Samson James there.
And he's one of those guys who just wants to get fed. Just feed me the football, and I'll do something with it.
It almost as the game more carries come along, he wears on you a little bit.
Absolutely.
And that's when he gets that seam, and he gets vertical on you.
And it hits the 6th gear.
Yes.
One receiver to each side of the formation. Hessen going to let the play clock run down. Takes a snap, looking to the end zone. Looking for Morrell, incomplete.
Back shoulder look there from Hessen. Receiver wasn't. I don't think the receiver's on the same page on that one.
Well, and that was 3rd down. Look for the Orioles to maybe try a field goal here. No, they're going to go. They're going to go ahead and go for it, as a field goal would put the game out of reach entirely, but could also cause some big problems.
Yes. So I think you again have to be smart here as a sophomore quarterback, not to force anything. To make it a one-score game, really.
And if you do force something, it better be into the back of the end zone. Here's
Yes.
Hessen. He'll hand it off this time to James. Looking for the edge. He's going to be dropped on 4th down. Great 4th down stop there for the Royals.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, that's some momentum heading into next week to know that your offense or your defense can make some serious stops.
Absolutely. Against that Brownsburg offense, you're definitely going to have to be ready. They've got a lot of success. Coach Hart does a great job with that program, and I think this is his 3rd year in the program.
Yeah.
So now he's kind of starting to get his system in place. And
he's got running back Donnie Marcus who can do some serious
Yes,
things.
I haven't seen any tape on them, but I obviously by the scores I've been reading, the stats I've been reading, they need to be dealt with.
Absolutely. And looking ahead for the Royals, they're going to have Fishers to deal with next week. Fishers was 0-1 after week 1, haven't had a chance. Here's Brom giving rush. Stepping up in the pocket is Sparks. And a nice job by DeAndre Rhodes there to knock that ball away from the defender from the Orioles.
That may have been a pick 6 if he doesn't get his hand back there.
Well, a minute 20, 2nd down and 10. 22-6 lead for Avon. Sparks will send a man in motion, a 5-wide out look for the Royals here.
Back to that empty look.
They've seen success with this, getting receivers open, stepping up. Oh, it's fumbled, and it's picked up by Matthew Brom. He's going to try to rumble it into the end zone. Oh, he's so close.
That would have been a great.
Oh, Uncle Mike was.
Yes.
I think I heard him.
Yes.
From Alaska, screaming right there. Sparks was hit hard and knocked it away. Matthew Brom is extremely happy. He's being mauled over here down the Avon sideline by his teammates. As that's him at the bottom of the pile. His teammates are just up there thrilled. I'm not sure whether that'll go down in the record book as an interception or a fumble recovery.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Again, when you go empty, you don't have that kind of time. You have to get rid of the ball. If you wait that long with this defensive line, you have to know what's going to happen. You have to get rid of the ball here.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. And as you mentioned, that Avon defensive line has been stellar all night, and there they were again.
Well, and to add insult to injury, we have a man down for HSE. It looks like another lineman, which probably is not going to help them in the game this week in the rivalry match.
And that's one of the things in a game where you lose. The worst thing you can do is lose more players. They got another guy down on the field. Oh, usually on those interception plays, you have the worry of a blindside block or something like that. He was in there pretty tight, so I don't know if it was that or what exactly happened, but unfortunate. I look for the Orioles to probably just down the football here, even though they're on the 1 yard line with just over a minute to play. I don't think they have any reason to try to run it into the end zone.
I guess it just depends how hard they go on that defensive line.
That's true. Yeah.
Gonna be a good game next week for the Avon Orioles versus the Brownsburg Bulldogs.
Yeah, we'll set the table here for you. The Orioles are going to go into that one 3-0. The Bulldogs are going to go into that one 3-0.
Impressive 3-0.
Yeah, a very impressive 3-0. We haven't seen these two teams face each other in such a highly touted contest since I believe it was 2014 when Brandon Peters was a senior, and he led the Orioles to a big victory on ESPN.
Yes.
When that game pitted two high D1s.
Yeah.
With Hunter Johnson from Brownsburg and Brandon Peters from Avon.
Yeah, they brought in the extra lights, everything. It got to be on primetime television. It was kind of a cool event. They made
a streaker.
Oh,
with
Ben Harmon.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a track guy for us here at Avon,
and he
too.
Took off and
man, he had
out the window.
I think it was a Richard Nixon mask streaking across the field. It's pretty awesome. We don't condone streaking, but it was still funny at the same time.
Nope, not at all. The Orioles will come out in their shotgun, but look for Hessen to probably just take a knee here. Snap. Oh, no, they'll hand it off to James up the middle, and he's going to be shy. And if the Royals don't take a timeout, the Orioles will only have to snap it one more time. And that's what's going to happen here. 32 seconds on the play clock and 50 seconds on the game clock.
And like I said, these HSE Avon games, this is how they usually look from the last 4 years of team. No different. Tough defense from the HSE cover 2 look.
And here's another handoff to Samson James up the middle, and he'll get in the end zone for a touchdown. Get James in there for a touchdown. I think Samson James has a chance to break the all-time rushing touchdown record this year. I think that's what we saw there. Coach Bless trying to give him a chance to break that record.
Yeah, I know he doesn't necessarily. He's a kid that probably doesn't keep a close eye on these. He's more worried about wins and losses, but it's always nice to get an extra touchdown when you're on the one.
Absolutely. Well, and
he'll have to give credit. Matt Brom will have to get a little side note on that one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think without the help of his Uncle Mike, I don't know if that interception / fumble recovery is made possible.
You know, I'd have to agree there. Well,
another kick that's almost blocked.
I think if you're Avon, maybe you just wanted to get another chance to work your PAT. Maybe that was it.
That may have been the case there, but nonetheless, the scoreboard reads 29-6 with 33 seconds to play in the ball game, and we will have just a few more plays here before we head home. So we're going to give you one more quick rundown of all of our sponsors for tonight's contest. I want to send out a big thanks to Matthew Brom's Uncle Mike, who all the way from Alaska joins us each week and likes us so much they decided to donate some money to help our broadcast stay alive. Westside Plumbing, Heating and Air, Panuni's Pizza and Wings, Indy Propane, Wilkinson Insurance, McNamara Florist, Reynolds Body Shop, Red Cobra Wrestling, State Bank of Liston, Moe's Southwest Grill, Stanley Chevrolet, School of Rock Fishers, and ARS Rescue Rooter have brought you tonight's contest, and we thank them all for being such integral parts of what we do here on Audio Sports Online and WYRZ.
Yeah. I got people texting me the corrections. It was an Obama mask for the streaker. That's 33 seconds left in the game. Wanted to get that correction in there.
Well, good looking out from our listeners.
Yes.
Always good to have the listeners fully engaged.
Big shout out to Jared Turner with the AJAA, who helps a lot with our youth program here in Avon.
There's a kick taken at the 7 by Lance. Lance gets across the 20, now to the 25, and looks like he'll be stopped by a host of Oriole tacklers. Not before he gets down to the 26-yard line, and now with 26 seconds left to play in the ball game.
Me and Rob talked a lot about that last week, the youth programs, how Coach Hart's done a great job, how Avon and the AJ youth program and Coach Bless done a great job of getting these kids, tackling safe. We had a couple of calls last week, and Heads Up Football with USA Football kind of brought us into that conversation of how you, to this day's game, how do you get the kids ready for the game, essentially?
Right, and it's all about how you teach them. And here come the Royals with a handoff up the middle to Harris, who takes several tacklers with him. And that might be the last play of the game. Looks like they may try to get one more off. But if you're the Royals, you want to get out of here with no more injuries. They'll probably hand it off to Lance Stevens one more time. Sparks calling the signals, taking the snap. No fakes the handoff this time. Rolling out, passing, looking. Oh, he had it off the hands of Rhodes. And there will be 1 second left. No, they're going to go ahead and let the clock run down.
There we go.
And that'll be the ball game. So your final score Avon 29, Hamilton Southeastern 6. The player of the game tonight is going to go to Matthew Brom as he made a couple of big stops, came up with that late fumble recovery, and really iced the game for the Orioles. Want to thank everybody here in the Avon press box and Avon coaching staff, athletic staff, Lance Larkey, Brad Holsinger, and everybody else here on the athletic staff at Avon. We love Angie. We love the team doctor, Mr. Boer, Dr. Boer, and everybody here at Avon for helping us out each week. Sam, your final thoughts?
You know, I kind of saw the game turning out this way, low-scoring game. Avon's going to have to bring a lot of momentum because I think Brownsburg might have even more with the way they've been beating people. The complaint to Brownsburg before was, they weren't playing enough people. But for this game, Avon did a great job defensively of just controlling the line of scrimmage. The first 2 quarters was Avon pretty much in the backfield. So I think HSE, you got to get healthy. I think they had a couple linemen go down and regroup for a big rivalry game next week for HSE. A lot of fighting them. They got a defense they can build off of. Their offense put them in some bad spots tonight, but hats off to the HSE team, and Avon's got some high expectations they're going to have to continue to keep fulfilling.
Well, Sam, you mentioned it right there. The defense of HSE coming up big this week, making a lot of good defensive stops. A team in Avon that has scored 42.5 points a game over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they hold them to 29 here. And, essentially 22. Avon snuck in that late touchdown. But a great job by the HSE defense and coaching staff being prepared to play this Avon team.
Absolutely. Hats off to them. I think this is a very dynamic offense, and to hold them to 22, 29 points is really good. So hats off to them. Again, they traditionally have their scheme does well against this Avon offense. For whatever reason, the coaches are familiar with what we do at Avon. Hats off to them for their performance tonight, and I wish the best of luck to them getting healthy and to their game next week.
Absolutely. Well, fans, that just about does it for us here on AudioSportsOnline.com. I want to thank all of our sponsors one more time tonight. We couldn't do this without them. And we want to congratulate the Avon Orioles on another good win and wish the HSE Royals the best of luck. So to all of you out there listening to us on AudioSportsOnline.com, WYRZ via podcast or live, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. For Sam Penrod, I am Marcus Fredwell saying, so long, sports fans.